Welcome out to the Nerd Effect Podcast. We are on episode number 24.
Whoop, whoop.
What?
We're almost there. Can it be called a quarter century in podcasts?
No, because
I
it's
don't know.
not 25 years.
If we're doing it once a year, yeah, but...
We're halfway through our 20s. That means we're mature now, right?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, we're mature.
Because I'm coming out of those, and I'm not at all.
I am one of your nerd hosts, Dustin Vancouver, joined with my fellow cohorts,
Michael Morgan.
Mason, Ireland.
Meow. Thank you,
Also known as Nikki Prindle.
Meowky Prindle?
Yes.
Meowky? That sounds like you have a...
Sounds like an anime character.
Meowky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a weird robot cat girl.
So, yeah, robot cat girl in a short plaid skirt.
Like Chobits.
Except for Chobits was like adorable and cute.
Yeah, it was adorable and cute. A robot cat girl would be adorable and cute.
In all those
If her
perverted
name
ways
was
that might make
Meowky.
Mike explode.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen Catgirl Nuku Nuku.
I don't know what he's talking about, but I don't like it. It's making me uncomfortable.
I might know what he's talking about.
I've seen it.
I was, yeah. Can't even word.
Can't even word right.
No.
I can't brain today.
Me
I
brain.
have the dumb.
Alright. This is
I liked
boding
it.
really well.
I liked it one time. I was having just a bad off day when I was in school, and I had a piece of paper with I borrowed a Sharpie from a friend and wrote on it, "I can't brain today. I have the dumb." And whenever a teacher looked at me expecting me to respond, I just held it up.
How'd that work out?
Surprisingly well, actually.
Yay!
Somebody's got nerdy teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was called the anthropology department.
Nerds.
I'm gonna get the sads out of the way first, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As a lot of the major internet reviewing community knows, a good dear friend of a lot of listeners and creators and content creators, a guy that a lot of people really looked up to, Justin Carmichael, also known as Juwario, passed away last Thursday, unfortunately due to suicide. It's really sad. There's really not much you can do or say about it. A lot of people got angry. A lot of people are upset. But surprisingly, a lot of positive has come out in his support and other things online that I've seen. I've only seen one troll video about it, which I just didn't have the heart to even look at it. I just fuck that.
Fuck the trolls.
I pretty much just went fuck that guy and just kept scrolling. But the majority of it, a lot of positive. I actually worked with this guy through One Up Your Life for about a minute. But I mean, through like the 3 emails we went back and forth with, you could definitely tell he was probably one of the nicest guys you could have possibly met. And I'm also learning very much that even though I've never suffered from any sort of depression myself, that just because you're depressed doesn't mean you can't be nice.
Right.
And whatever he was suffering through, whatever battles he was fighting, that's very unfortunate, and it's very, very sad that it had led up to this point. On that note, I kind of want to play a video of his that he did during a stream. This video's it's made the rounds, and a lot of people have viewed it. Just last night, the same video was only at like 31 views when I first watched it. The very next day, it's now up to almost 36,000. So it's gone around, and it's some very heartfelt words from Juwario himself, so I'm just going to play it real quick. It's about 1.5 minutes long.
You know what? I want you all to look at me. I want you all to look at me. I want you to... Because what I'm about to say is important, I think. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. And I want you all to know this. This goes out to everybody. You're not stupid. Okay?
Sorry about that.
Stupid. Don't ever tell yourself that you are. You're important. What you have in your head may not mean a lot to a lot of people, but it's what makes you special. You are important. you mean something. And you're going to go out there, and you're going to do some wonderful things. But first and foremost, you're not stupid. You're not an idiot. Don't ever tell yourself that you are. And if nobody else ever tells you this, I will tell you this. I care about you. Thank you for coming to my stream today.
So that was taken from a live stream from Twitch that he did several months ago. I'm not entirely sure what the stream was about, but that was definitely a clip that had touched a lot of people recently. So anyway, raise your glasses to the guy. He was totally a sweetheart. Keep your prayers and your thoughts open for his wife, his family, and his friends, anybody who he touched directly. He was a big contributor to that guy with the glasses crew, Project Millionaire, and obviously his own channels. So he touched a lot of people. So be happy. I guess on that note, if you are ever feeling stressed, depressed, anything like that, to the point where you just feel like you can't take it anymore, call somebody. There are helplines out there everywhere. I don't know how else to put it than that. They're there for a reason. Use them. Agreed?
Agreed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right. Now that the sad's over, let's move on to the happies. I like happies.
I like happies.
I like the giggles.
Yay, happies. We
Um,
like happies.
We like happies.
Happies are good.
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy.
So
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, keep
Don't get me
going.
started
You
on that one. I'll stop. I won't
We
stop.
can just Ren and Stimpy this shit.
No. I
don't
won't stop.
whiz on the electric fence.
Boy.
It's log, it's log,
Log,
it's
it's
big,
Big,
it's heavy, it's wood.
It's
log,
It's log, it's better than bad, it's good. Rolls downstairs, a little repairs, runs over your neighbor's dog. It's good for a snack. It's on your back. It's log, log, log.
God damn, Ren and Stimpy. I love that show.
I've rewatched some of it as an adult. It was really disturbing when, like, the close-ups that they would do.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really hit me as a kid. I was just like, it's a cartoon, yay, I'm watching it. And then you go back and you rewatch it, you're like, wow, this is fucked up.
And you're like, my parents let me watch this?
Yeah, I
What the
feel
hell?
that way about...
What's wrong with my parents?
What's wrong with the 90s is pretty much the attitude
There was
I've
nothing
adopted.
wrong with the 90s. The 90s were awesome because of things like Ren and Stimpy.
It's surprising to know that show actually started on MTV and then worked its way to Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Became a kid show,
Yeah.
really?
In fact, I think it was a part. I can't remember what was the name of the lineup. That had like
Liquid television.
Liquid Television. Yes, had like
that
Aeon
came back.
Flux
They
and
have
all those.
it was on, and just watching it on like Hulu or something when I got home the other day, and it's a new Liquid Television from within the last couple years, and it's all just like acid trips and flashing lights and
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they probably tried. That does sound familiar. I bet they tried to just start it to try and compete with.
It's not
Adult Swim.
very good.
No, it's not. It doesn't hold up.
It's like, if you're gonna do something like that where you're pushing boundaries, you should make sure that you've got quality content.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because people aren't gonna, I mean, certain people will, but they're gonna need to have certain substances coursing through their veins to appreciate your programming.
Well, and they tried to bring back, and everybody was excited for it too, Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, Sarah Spink was actually, she was working at the studio that did that.
I don't think it came back with like such hype, and then I don't think it's one of those. I don't know if it took.
I don't
off
know
or
what
not.
happened to that. I know she doesn't, I don't think she
I only
works,
know.
she doesn't work for them anymore, so I don't know what happened, but
I only watched a few episodes.
I
but-
knew about it before I was supposed to.
I think it's a little late for that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it. I figure it's okay now.
Anyway, let's start with the news.
That was being a ticker tape.
Nikki's our new ticker. I like it.
That's what we were missing last week was our ticker.
We have a ticker.
Nikki.
Oh, me. I'm the ticker.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
I was just going to sing the news song.
Yeah. So, who wants to go first?
Nikki wasn't here last time. I think she should go first.
Yeah.
I've just got a review.
As punishment, Nikki will review
It's
the
not
happies.
punishment. I'm going to talk about cats. It's punishment for you guys.
Oh.
So, I think this might have come up once or twice before now. That I'm a little bit of a crazy cat lady. It's like a smidge. Mason's holding his arms out really
A
far
pinch.
apart.
A pinch.
It's not a pinch at all.
You touch my fingers, and then you reach around, you touch Dustin's fingers.
They're joining hands to make their arms stretch wide enough. Anyways, so I was going to do this last week, but I was out sick because my brain hates me, and I need glasses I can't afford. So migraines happen. But we went to the Internet Cat Video Film Festival, so it was a week ago now,
Down at the...
down at the Knitting Factory. It was super fun. They had, the MC was the guy that does the Henri Depressed French Cat with the subtitles videos, if you guys have seen those. They're really funny. It's this cat that's just... You guys are just yeah.
No, go for it.
Okay, no,
I'm listening. I'm focused.
it's just like black and white, and it's this cat talking about how his oppressors are, mistreat him, and it's like a depressed French film, and it's this is the guy that did that. They're really funny. And then Keyboard Cat's owner was there.
But not Keyboard Cat, because
Well,
he
Keyboard
died.
Cat died in 1987. But apparently this guy's still riding the Keyboard Cat train, and he had this bothered me. He had buttons that said "I met Keyboard Cat," which is just a lie, and you could get autographs, which it wasn't Keyboard Cat. He had another orangey cat that he owns with a shirt on that he brought up on stage, and that was that.
That's internet.
They could have gone creepily morbid with that and had severed Keyboard Cat's paw and mummified it, so you
Stop
could get an
saying
authentic.
words. No, I don't
Yeah, but
like it.
1987, YouTube didn't exist.
Yeah, he didn't know back then that
Back then,
his
it was
cat
just
was
a
gonna
Foresight, people. Foresight.
Back then, it was probably just some crazy dude. with
Yeah,
his
he basically what he said was
camera.
he did that because he was bored and his television wasn't working, like his cable wasn't working or something like that. So he just recorded his cat doing silly things to amuse himself, which I've totally done with a video camera. We used to do stupid little shit. And then when YouTube happened, one of his buddies was like, "Oh man, you should post that." So we did, and that's what happened. But no, it was very fun. They didn't end up showing the Lil Bub and Friends documentary, which I was kind of disappointed about, but I guess they didn't really have time to show a documentary and do all that other stuff.
So what was all the other stuff?
They just showed a whole stream of cat videos, basically, which a lot of it was ones I hadn't seen. Some of it were ones that I had seen, like the one where the cat's, it's a tiny kitten and the owner's tickling it, and then it pulls its hand back and he goes, "Boof!" Yeah. And then there was another video, which was our favorite, which I sent Dustin the link so he can put it up with the news articles, even though it's just a cat video, where it's a cat aerobics video, which was, I was rolling laughing at that because I'm like, oh, I know that workout, but it's a kitty. But what the guy said at the beginning, which made me happy, he's like, because it's not about watching cat videos, it's about watching cat videos together, which it was pretty fun. I liked it a lot. It was a little expensive for what it ended up being, but it was still a good time.
So what was it like with the atmosphere of people that were there?
It was sitting. Like, it wasn't how it normally is at the Knitting Factory where everyone's standing up crammed together. It was like they had tables out and chairs down in front and everyone was sitting and everyone was really excited, and there were like a bunch of older gals dressed up really nice with cat, like, what would you call those? The masks.
Mardi Gras masks?
Yeah, that's not what
Like a masked ball?
Yeah, Masquerade, yeah.
Masquerade, yeah.
Yeah, they had like sparkly sequin masks on, and I had this cool knit hat with cat ears on it that Sarah Spink made me that I love, but I don't really wear outside my house because I feel silly as an adult with cat ears. And I was like, oh, this is the one time I can wear this outside my house and not feel like a jackass.
Which is funny because that's like probably the one fashion statement I would say is probably at least relatively normal.
Yeah, but if you're
That's
actually
nerdy
a
anyway.
crazy cat lady wearing cat ears, when everyone knows that you're already a crazy cat lady, just gives you that extra level of you're a borderline murderer. Not that I am or anyone would
my
think
thing
that,
is
but
the cat or fox or whatever ear
The wolf
hats,
hat.
the wolf hats, etc. Sorry, Copel. I know you're not.
I know that was you in Canada, buddy.
yeah,
yeah, one that was you in
robbing
Canada, right?
convenience stores in your wolf hat.
Yeah, but
Speaking of which, sorry, I gotta pull up an email real quick.
But yeah, sorry, Copel. I don't actually include you in this category because I already know you. But every time I see someone with one of those hats on, I just assume they're a furry.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other thing is the kind of people that are comfortable wearing animal ears in public over the age of about 14 are typically not the kind of people that I want to be associated with.
Yeah, it's like I just assume they're a furry and I move on.
Yeah,
and try
exactly.
Not to accidentally get them to want to talk to me for some reason.
See, and I love my cat hat because it's really well made, really comfy ear flap hat that just has kitty ears on it.
And Spink is awesome.
And it was made by a really good friend. She knit this really cool button onto it. That's one of those vintage buttons with the pictures on it. It's got a little cat on it. It's just a really cool hat. But I'm one of those people that's so self-conscious that I'm like, everyone's going to think I'm off. And I am, but not in the way they're going to think that I am. So I wear it around my house like crazy. And it's one of my favorite hats. Like, if I get sick, I'm like, I need my cat hat. Like, it's just a thing. But I was really excited to wear it in public and not worried about getting judged because I'm like that. But it was really fun. Everyone was really, really nice. Like, we were making friends with the people in line around us as we were waiting to go in, and that was really cool. And Humane Society had a booth there where they were talking to people about spaying and neutering their pets, and that was very cool. I think that's an opportunity they should have embraced a little more, maybe. Like, I was hoping that they would have paperwork for volunteering because I've been wanting to sign up to volunteer there, but they didn't have anything with them, so.
They should have. They could have gotten a lot of volunteers.
It would have been a great opportunity for that, yeah.
Yeah.
And they talked about how, if you have feral cats around, they lend out traps, which is funny because when we were trying to catch cats around our office and I tried to borrow traps, they said that you had to give them money for it.
Well, maybe it's a deposit.
Oh, see, they didn't say that, maybe.
Okay,
all I know is
like they want you to give them back, so they want to hold some money from you, so they get them back. That makes sense. But but you get it back when you bring the cat.
Okay,
when you bring the traps back.
But it was very cool. It was a fun experience with lots of neat people, and it was very positive, and everyone was laughing together. It was really cool. Like, I don't know if you've ever done the YouTube party thing. We've had our friends come over sometimes because we've got a smart TV, and so they'll be like, oh, you got to see this funny video that we saw the other day, and I'll pull it up on the TV, and then we'll be like, oh, well, and you have to watch this video, and it just turns into an hour and a half of showing each other YouTube videos. It was like that, but in a giant room with a giant screen with cats. It was great. Yeah, so Dustin's gonna post the kitty aerobics video.
Yes. It'll be. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure
it's really, really clever.
Mason, you saw it. How was it?
I'm not big on the cat videos, but I have to admit it was done well, and it was clever.
It was a fairly high budget cat video. I think it's a cat treats commercial.
Okay.
But yeah, it was well done. So
they've got him doing exercises with little kitty sweatbands on.
Like, 1 and 2.
There was one that made me laugh that was a kitten sneezing over and over and over and over again. And I gave Angela a lot of crap about that because every time she sneezes, she does it like 8 times. Every time she sneezes. Never known anybody who's like that. So seeing the kitty do it, I was like, that's you if you were a kitty. It was fun because there was a lot of videos I hadn't seen. And they did show a little bit of Little Bub videos. Yeah, that
little bit of Little Bub.
That was a sentence. I had to run it through in my head again to make sure.
Little bit of bub.
Little bit of Little Bub. But yeah, it was super fun, and I think we'll probably go see it if it comes through again next year for the fest. We'll go
yeah, there's definitely no shortage of cat videos. On the internet, so
nope.
Only a good way to power the universe off of cat videos.
I guess the way it got started was I don't remember what city it got started in. I think New Mexico, I want to say. And it was just like this theater. They were like, oh, you guys should make this a thing. So they went there. They said they were going to show some cat videos. And there ended up being so many people there that they showed this picture. It was an outside screen. Mm-hmm. And there were people blocks away, like sitting on the ground watching the screen because there were so many people there. So it's
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really fun, though. I mean, even if you're not a crazy cat person, sitting in a room with a bunch of other people watching videos of cats was actually really entertaining.
I believe it.
Yeah. It's just a bunch of people rolling on the floor laughing.
A bunch of raffles?
Yeah, it was raffles everywhere. I might even call it a rafflecopter.
Ooh. Or a raffle jerk.
And then we rolled out on our roller skates.
Mike got it.
Yeah.
I got it too. I just chose
I
to
was
pass it
ignoring.
over.
Come
Anyways.
on.
That was my Cats review, because you guys thought it was going to be a negative one.
I didn't think it was going to be negative.
No, I know, because it was coming from me, and it was about the
Yeah.
Internet Cat Video Film Festival.
I had no delusions. I'm surprised there wasn't a squee or two in there, actually.
Yeah, well, I was a little disappointed that it wasn't more exclusive content, that it was stuff that I could just seek out myself. But it was basically, they sought out the really good stuff. And the guy that MC'd that did the Henri videos, he won a Cat Fest award one year, and they didn't think that he was actually going to be there. So they had to make an award. So it was a gold happy cat, like the good luck cat. It was a gold good luck cat bank, like a piggy bank that they glued onto a piece of wood, and that's his award. So it blew out of proportion really fast.
Was he like, thanks?
Yeah. Well, no, he says he's super proud of it, actually.
Well, sweet.
Cats.
So if the cat video, internet film cat festival thing,
If it comes back through again and you missed it this time, you should definitely go next time.
or if it's coming to your neighborhood, look up your tickets.
Oh
online.
yeah,
Go
if you're
buy
not
it. Go see
local
it.
and it's coming through, you should definitely go. It was really fun. It was a neat experience.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's next?
I'll go next. And now back from the world of hard science.
Not cats?
Not cats.
What?
Nope.
You mean it can't be measured in fur balls and
Everything
meows?
can be measured in fur balls and meows.
Nope. This is about
They are units of
Homo
measurement.
sapien sapien.
sapien?
Yes.
That's not a stutter?
No.
Okay.
All I heard was homo.
No homo.
Sorry. No homo. Oh, God.
No,
I hate that song so much.
there are 4 homos in this room. 4 Homo sapien sapiens.
Mhm.
Oh.
That's what we are.
Yes, we're humans. Homo sapien sapien, which would be different than Homo sapien neanderthalensis, which are Neanderthals.
I knew that.
Continue.
Sorry.
Dr. Elhike of the University of Sheffield in England and Dr. Grauer, I'm guessing, from the University of Houston, have found evidence that the earliest common male ancestor of modern humans is somewhere around 209,000 years ago. Mind you, in these kind of terms, this isn't a big, huge deal, but they have pushed the date back approximately 9,000 years. And basically they've also gotten evidence that the species that becomes Homo sapien sapien stopped interbreeding with other living hominins about 500,000 years ago. So, basically us and Neanderthals diverged about,
That means stopped boning.
well, no, we're subspecies. It's like the difference between a wolf and a dog.
Oh. I liked mine better.
But because there is proof actually, but
You no give cave boner anymore.
well, you don't love caveman anymore. No. Basically,
They call that a bone job? Because they've got bones in their noses and then... No? Okay. I'm thinking cartoon cavemen.
Yes.
Yes.
Is what I'm doing.
Captain Crave.
but basically, the Homo sapien line diverged about and stopped interbreeding with other hominins about 500,000 years ago. However, there is evidence of more recent convergence between Homo sapien and Homo sapien neanderthalensis in Europe and Asia, because all Europeans and Asians, but not Africans, our genetics include about 6% Neanderthal genetics. But
So somewhere, some dude was like, oh man, you know those cavemen that we stopped boning? They're looking kind of awesome right now.
well, we don't know if well, that's what it is, that we don't know if our ancestors saw any difference between us meaning Homo sapien sapien and the Neanderthals, Homo sapien neanderthalensis.
Oh, okay.
So we don't know if they saw any difference or if they were just, the dudes over the hill.
Yeah.
So, but in people of African descent, that are either directly from Africa or have had limited contact with white people. In other words, not black people in America. They don't have any Neanderthal genetics. Whereas, like I said, Europeans and Asians have about 6% Neanderthal DNA. That can be directly traced from Neanderthals, not leftovers that were common already between Neanderthal and human. So, but basically what happened was that there was a series of unfortunate events.
Lemony Snicket?
Yes.
Yes.
That reduced the human population to being very, very small about 209,000 years ago. So that caused human genetic diversity to become very narrow. For all the evident differences between humans, they really are all on the surface and are a result of a very tiny bit of DNA. And we are far less genetically diverse than practically any other species on the planet. So
makes it surprising that we do as well as we do if we're less genetically diverse.
Well, we're less genetically diverse, but we have the big brain thing going on.
It's true. And thumbs.
Big brains and thumbs. They're kind of useful. And the ability to stand completely upright and walk.
I was saying standing upright and looking over the grass to see if predators are coming.
Yeah.
That one
and
helps.
also being able to continually walk that way comfortably. So.
I had a dog once that could do that for a while.
Yeah, but those are just weird animals.
Yeah, but
He was a weird animal.
I can't imagine that would have been comfortable for a long period of time, though.
Did you ever read about that chimpanzee that they were trying to pass off as the missing link? I can't remember what his name was, but he was a mostly hairless chimp who walked upright most of the time and acted fairly human because he was raised with a human family.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. It was back in early last century.
I know. I've heard of it before. Yeah, it was.
He is weird looking, but it's
yeah
funny that they just.
But yeah,
tried to
he was
pass him off as...
he had a genetic defect that made him mostly hairless. Which one of the other names for humans is the hairless ape. Where we have hair on our bodies, but compared to our close relatives, the chimps, the orangs, and the gorillas, we're baby smooth. Even the really hairy humans. So
like Ron Jeremy?
Yeah, he's baby smooth.
What about Robin Williams?
Okay, maybe not Robin Williams. But yeah, so just interesting stuff. They've found out that the events that led to modern humanity are about 9,000 years older than we thought originally. Okay, not a huge deal, but pretty cool to me.
Well, if there's any other like my father-in-law Scott, he's anthropology majoring.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Fisher.
Okay.
She might be into anthro a bit. I could be wrong. Aaron, if you're listening, if you're not into anthro, I apologize. I think you are. Mike? Rochambeau for it? Or do you even have news?
I got it's more of a picture gallery, really, but
this is an audio podcast.
You brought a picture gallery to an audio podcast?
Well, it was really the only thing I could find that was even worth
Wait.
It doesn't work very good.
What pictures are you trying to show us? Because I gotta say, buddy,
they're steam boxes.
Yeah,
Oliver, that was the chimp's name. I've been looking for that.
Okay.
Sorry.
So yeah, basically, it's article. It's basically got like all 14 of the Steam boxes that are going to be released from all different companies, all different sizes, all different looks.
Yep.
And it's like, my main thing I'm going to bring this up as a story for is, I mean, really, are that many people going to be buying these things?
That's the thing is that we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Steam and the Steam box manufacturers are betting that people will. And I say they have cause to be optimistic because, it's going to have the advantages. Okay. To a video game manufacturer, this has some pretty good advantages because they have, an install base of these boxes that they're not required or dependent upon a specific manufacturer, or even getting a manufacturer is okay for their game, because it just has to pass Steam's requirements, which Steam doesn't have a lot of requirements. And they're platform independent, unlike to make a game for an Xbox, to make a game for a PC, and to make a game for the PlayStation, you have to make 3 different pretty serious variations on the game to get it to run on the hardware. Whereas the big thing on the Steam box is taken care of the same way it's done with a PC, where if someone has a lower end Steam box, they may not be able to jack the graphics all the way up. So you'll have, the good example is when Skyrim came out for the PlayStation and the Xbox, it had its graphics hamstrung compared to the PC version. Mm-hmm. And that's all the graphics you could get on the Xbox or the PS3. Whereas on the computer, you could have, those were like the low end settings for the computer graphics. But on a computer, you could jack those graphics up to where there were freaking ant colonies on the ground. You could get it up to where the graphics were just absolutely amazing. And on the Steam boxes, you can take care of that variation the same way you do on a PC. And granted, they're going to be running Linux and they're going to need to use OpenGL versus DirectX, but that can be programmed for right at the beginning. And Steam is working on some tools to make that very easy for people to port their old games that they have made over to running on Linux using OpenGL versus running on PC in the DirectX format. So, and the fact that there's already a huge, it's not like a new console coming out and you're going to have 2 or 3 games that first week. When the Steam box comes out, there's 10,000 games already available for it, because pretty much anything on Steam, could be, at least, even if the controller isn't natively supported, you can map the controller to be supported by the game. So, I'm hoping that it does do well. I think that the Xbox and the PlayStation need some serious competition from a source that can trounce their asses.
The other thing about the Steam box too is that it looks like of the 14 pictures I just flipped through, I'd say at least 10 of them are horizontal boxes versus the tower.
Right.
And the reason for that being is because they're intended for television use in your home, and it fits nicely into your home entertainment system and matches up with your PS4 and your Xbox and
your Blu-ray player. Yeah, everything else.
Yeah. So
some of them are very small, compact designs too.
Yeah. And as far as like the designs, for example, I know there's one in there by Main Gear.
Yeah, that's the red one that looks like a cube.
Yep.
That's called the Spark.
Main Gear is a high-end boutique PC manufacturer. That's what they do for most of their work. That I could make that a dual booting machine and have it be a full-powered PC too, because that's what it is. And Main Gear makes really creamy, rising to the top level PCs.
The cream rises to the top.
See, I set that up so you could do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
But they make, their thing is, their wimpy PCs are more powerful than anything I've ever had. Quite honestly. So yeah, I think that the Steam box is gonna do well. And the fact that you can drop out of the SteamOS interface into a regular Linux GUI. I think it was GNOME. I'm not 100% certain though. So that way, guess what? It also does all the things that a computer does, and can be, and you can control it, with a keyboard and mouse if you have, wireless keyboard and mouse sitting in your front room. And it's in a format that's built to be in a front room, not a full tower. So
on the pretty lights factor and the just overall pretty box, the Alienware, the Cyber Power, and the, I believe, iBuyPower one, all look the coolest to me. The Main Gear one's pretty cool, but it doesn't light up, but it's kind of got a cool red case.
Yeah, I would say plus with Main Gear, one of the things they do with like their computer cases is that you can get like automotive paint colors put on them, so you can really trick them out. So like, I want that British Racing Green PC. Main Gear will do it for you. So I'm sure they're going to let you do stuff like that to their Steam boxes too, so you can customize their looks. They can do different kinds of interior and exterior lighting on their boxes. So I'm sure they're going to have those options available.
They got one here by Zotac, though, that literally looks like it looks like a modem.
Yeah.
It's got a little tower, the little antenna pops up off the back of it.
Yeah, that's just a Wi-Fi
I know,
antenna. But yeah, it's just external on that one for some reason.
Yeah, another one I was noting, the Bolt 2 from Digital Storm. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like a PC tower.
Yeah. Well, Digital Storm is in that same area of expertise as Main Gear.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like I saw that picture and I'm just like, no, that's totally just a PC tower, just big old beefy one with two big old fans off the side. But
Yeah.
like, hell, I want to use that for my PC. I have to admit, the Alienware one looks pretty sexy.
Yeah, I think the Alienware one is one of the most console looking of them.
Definitely.
All right. We've lost Nikki.
No, I'm looking at the pictures of them.
Oh, are you?
I just don't have a whole lot of input because I don't.
Based on the pretty factor, which one would you choose?
I have to go back to it. Oh, I just closed that out. I liked the one with all the pretty swirlies on the side, you guys.
Oh, the Falcon one.
Yeah,
I
the
think.
Falcon one.
Oh,
That was
Falcon
really cool.
Northwest. And again,
Yeah.
another high-end PC manufacturer.
Pretty glowy blue.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
shit
know
looks
why it's-
airbrushed on the side, which is nice.
Isn't working. Meh.
It looks like an Xbox, to be honest with you. Like the
There we go.
Yeah,
overall
it's-
shape of it kind of looks very, very Xbox 360.
Mhm.
Yeah, that one. Ah. I don't know. The website hates my phone, but I really liked that one. That was cool.
Okay.
That's my input for that.
All right. My news is something that's very near and dear to my little retro gaming heart.
I
For the-
imagine your heart being 8-bit, by the way, when you
Just
say that.
Like the coffee mug and the
Like
Zelda
my
heart.
coffee
yeah.
mug? Yeah.
You haven't seen my 8-bit heart shirt yet, have you? It's a skeleton shirt. It's like a skeleton shirt, but it has a heart in it that's 8-bit.
Oh,
I want to get the
And the spine ends into a Atari 2600 controller.
I want to get the
awesome.
the range heart shirts for me and Jen. Like they got 4 hearts on it or something like that.
Yeah.
And as
When
you
you're
as you
close
get
to
as you
each
get
other,
further
you
away,
light
they go
up.
down. And as you get closer,
Aw,
It's
that's
like a Zelda life
adorable.
meter.
they fill up.
I have a coffee mug that Angela's mom got me for Christmas one year that's got an 8-bit heart on it, and it's black, and then when you fill it up with coffee, it turns red. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So the rarest NES cartridge ever created was sold on eBay over the weekend,
Yes.
and for an ungodly amount of money. To put this in perspective, before I even get there, I believe it's the Nintendo World Championship cartridge. There's only 116 of them rumored to have ever been made. And it's not the gold cartridge. Gold cartridge is even rarer. The last one I believe sold on eBay for close to around $15,000.
Jesus.
Now that was several years ago. This one, however, when it surfaced, and it is not in the greatest condition.
No, that picture was it looked pretty chewy.
It looked beat up, but the board looked great.
Yeah.
It's just the sticker and everything had been peeled completely off, and somebody had written on front of it Mario with a marker or something like that. But you had the
Are
three.
they sure that's what they actually ended up with?
Well, yeah, because the way you can tell is it's got there's 3 dip switches in the front of the cartridge that allow you to flip through different settings for the actual competition cartridge.
Right.
So it sold, I believe, yes, for $99,902 on eBay.
Christ.
And,
Buy a fucking house, people. Like,
Right.
that's almost a house.
or a really
Almost
nice
a
car.
house.
Well, it's a small house, but yeah.
Yeah, ours was $150,000.
Yeah.
Ours is okay sized.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I mean, you could get a house with that kind of money, and yeah, it's almost I mean,
Or go out and buy yourself a few double wides.
yeah.
Put them together. Yeah, totally retardulous. I can't even, my brain can't even wrap around that. It's like, I understand it's the rarest cartridge in the world, and good on this guy for forking over the cash. But holy shit, that is a lot of money for an NES
Yeah.
cartridge. I would be locking that thing up in a safe or like in a nice bulletproof display case of some sort that just...
Why would you buy a video game to do that to it, though?
I'd take it out
Would
and
you-
play it.
Yeah, I'd play it.
For $99,000?
Well, I wouldn't buy it for $99,000, first of all. But
I would be very, 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 very careful. Like, just popping that thing into the NES. Just be like,
Are you kidding me? The way we treated our games, like, you don't need to be that careful. I think NES cartridges are harder to wreck than CDs.
Yeah.
but, yeah, it's pretty quick news, but holy Christ, like, I don't even... That is a lot of money. Like, I can't even... The most money I've ever spent on anything video game related is my Ninja Turtles cabinet.
That's a full-on arcade cabinet.
Yeah, and that was $1,400.
Yeah.
That was to get it shipped here from New Jersey.
Yeah.
So, I think I actually ended up buying it for, like, $800, and then it was like $1,400 after shipping.
Yeah.
Was worth it to me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know when the last time I was going to be able to buy something like that would be. So, yeah. If you got the money, if you're a collector, if you got the dough, by all means go for it. But at the same time, fuck you. That's all I can say. You're a jerk. And the fact that there were multiple people bidding on it, and it
Yeah.
got up to that high, that means there's multiple people that had that amount of cash on them at the
That were
time.
willing to blow on it. Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, that's like, I think I even made the joke. I actually posted the link onto my Facebook page and tagged my wife in it and said, "Hey, Jen, can we pull a second mortgage on the house?" I don't think she responded, but, I thought it was pretty funny. Anyway, that's my news. It's pretty quick. Side note, our St. Baldrick's fundraising,
Whoop.
Nikki and Mike just hammering out the jams. Again, as a team, we're $406 of our $1,000. Nikki's raised $185 of that, Mike $130 of that, and Aaron Walmsley for $61 of that.
Get on it, boys.
Yeah. Hey,
Me too.
I'm the promoter.
You can't do that now.
Anyway, they're
Not
guaranteed their
promoting very
shirts.
well if you're not raising any money. Ooh.
So yeah, again, donate to our St. Baldrick's fund. We'd like to hit that goal before game day.
Yes, before March 8th.
Anyway, all right. Well, should we move on to our topic?
Yes.
Our list. Not really a topic so much as it is a
Follow
comprehensive list of badasses.
I still can't believe that you guys thought that Morpheus was going to be after Gambit on my list. Really?
It wasn't numbered. And I knew you really liked Gambit, and that's why I went with
Not, but just it was numbered, and then our email screwed it up.
it. Yeah,
So, I do remember saying something, but I think this is wrong, and Morpheus should be.
Yeah.
it's true. So at least Nikki's here to read her list this time.
I don't have an order on this one, though.
Oh,
they're all just-
That's how it's gonna be, huh?
Well, they're all equally,
Deviant.
yes, devious. Yes.
Okay, well, you can pick your order then. I like Mike's shirt today, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I hamburger cows. Second vegans.
I know some very nice vegans.
I know.
Just for the record,
being a jerk.
I'm an animal lover. I love the animals. They are so tasty and delicious.
All right. So Mike's number one on everybody's antagonist list, right?
I was a vegetarian for like 3 years. I don't even know.
Actually, I got one on my list that I'm willing to bet that all four of us have on our list.
Really?
Okay.
So we'll discuss it when we come to it.
Well, because I
Probably.
deliberately tried to not come up with stuff that everyone else would have on their list.
I even
So,
Okay.
the wife submitted a
Aw.
list online because I posted that we were going to be doing this. So she submitted her 5. No particular order, it looks like, but I think I can. Yeah, I'll read it from right to left because I'm
that's backwards of how we read things in this country.
I know, but I have a feeling her number one is actually... I can't imagine. Yeah, anyway. And then we also have another list from Brian. He emailed us too, so we'll read his email when we're done with our... We'll read these lists after we're done with our own.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, shall we start and then just
Yes.
rotate?
Yeah.
Like, I'll start and then...
Yes.
And then...
We'll do it that confusing way we've done all the other lists. Yes.
Excellent! Alright, let's see if we can't get lost. My number 5, Sylar from the Hero series.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I
Right.
forgot about him.
It's funny.
Fucking hated him.
What brought that up was we just watched the second series of American Horror Story, the Asylum, on Netflix because it had just been released, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Fucking, he played that one mega badass in Heroes.
Yeah.
For those of you unfamiliar with Heroes was a sweet series that was on NBC that only lasted 4 seasons.
4 seasons, but after the middle of season 2, it went downhill because that's when the writer's strike was. And it just couldn't, it was going on well until then, and then it just couldn't recover.
Yeah. It was a really good series. Yeah, it was a great idea. I think they continued it in comics afterwards, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe they did.
See, and I watched the first season a lot, and then I kind of lost it after that. I keep meaning to go back and watch it on Netflix, but...
Honestly, I even heard it with a interview with the creator or writer, whatever it was, that they weren't actually planning on going past the first season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were going to end it there. So everything past the first season, they kind of like had to just kind of make it up and add on to it. I think
Yeah.
that's part of the reason it didn't really do as well as it should have,
Mhm.
because first season was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Anyway, Sylar was definitely the one main badass to look at after that movie. He had the ability to absorb anyone's powers, but in the process of doing so, he had to kill them by splitting their head open to get to their brain.
Yes.
And
Like
He
an
was very
Easter egg.
proficient.
yeah,
It's kind of like a Kinder egg.
or like
Oh,
one of
man!
those Russian dolls.
Stacking dolls.
Yeah, nesting
Yeah.
dolls.
Um,
Got some measuring
Anyway.
cups like that.
yeah, he's definitely up there on my list of. In fact, I think as Sylar actually started to gain a conscience somewhere in the middle of the show, and actually found out that he didn't need to split people's heads open to actually gain their powers.
Did he keep doing it anyways?
And then he just broke again, and then
Yeah.
he just went back to his ways because it was easier.
Yeah. Yeah. I just say it's kind of funny because yeah, that's like watching Heroes. I thought Zachary Quinto was a great actor because he was doing a phenomenal job of being evil as Sylar. But nowadays it's like now he's Spock, and
Well, and he's in American Horror Story as a complete psychopath too, if that makes sense.
I haven't seen American Horror Story, so
Okay.
but the whole now he's Spock thing, it's kind of weird because now I think of him as like he's a good guy.
I was not aware that he was a gay man until somebody posted something.
You didn't even have to tell me. I knew it was
Earlier.
probably fairly obvious that he was probably.
I when it comes to actors and actresses, I just simply don't care.
No,
I don't care.
I don't either.
In fact, I would like to hug him because he seems like an amazing human being.
yeah,
Well,
no,
but it's just he's awesome.
I like it when people don't make it a big thing. Was it you that posted the quote from him? Yeah, he's clearly proud of who he is, but he's not.
yeah.
Like,
This is me. You have to accept it or get the fuck out. Like, I don't like that attitude, but I like the, oh no, I'm proud of who I am. It's just not all of who I am.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And that quote made me happy. And I was like, I didn't even know he was on our team. And yeah, it was cool. It's like, how did Dustin know that? And I didn't. I don't think Ange knew either. And she's Miss Celebrity Trivia person. So,
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
you stumped her.
Yay!
Yay!
We didn't do our yay at the beginning.
That's because I did meow. I'm sorry.
Libby, we apologize.
Keep broken.
Okay, wait, I'm doing
Yay!
Priddle. Yay! Okay,
Okay. All's forgiven.
fixed.
Yep. Mike, who is your number 5?
So my number 5, and actually, I'm betting that none of you will get this one or know where it's from. So it's Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg.
Oh, I know who that is.
Oh,
It's easy.
okay.
Fifth Element, baby.
Oh,
Yeah, I got that
that's
too.
right.
Yeah.
Why did you not think we'd get that?
Well,
How many times have I said Big Bada Boom on this
Multi-pass.
podcast? Like,
Okay. Maybe so. But yeah,
Only for a day.
some of my best, my favorite villain quotes.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
And that weird plastic hat thing.
Yeah.
And they drip the chocolate syrup on his face, and yeah, I mean, he does such a good acting job that you can overlook the fact that you can see them dripping the
chocolate syrup.
sauce
Yeah.
to his face.
And you pay attention to him even though he's, acting on screen along with Mila Jovovich, who's
Gary Oldman is one of my favorite actors.
Oh no, he's great, but she wasn't wearing a lot of clothing.
Well,
That's true.
So
Yeah.
noticing his acting when that's going on is kudos to him.
Gary Oldman's always really powerful presence on screen, no matter what role he's doing.
But Gary
Yeah.
Oldman wasn't even on the same screen
So-
as her 90% of the time.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
No, but it was the same movie.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
when you're not paying attention to Mila Jovovich,
Maybe I like her more than you do.
You can,
Well, hey, don't get me wrong. I'm all about Mealy.
She's the reason I keep watching those god-awful Resident Evil movies they keep making. It's like The Land Before Time, how they just keep popping them out, and you're like, well, how many of these are there now? Like 8? Wait, there's 12? Really? Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
Resident Evil is turning into that.
Well, let me
It
put
is.
it this way too. So, Gary Oldman did Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, back in the day, I used to get a lot of, "Hey, you look like Gary Oldman," and so I
He did,
played on that.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When he did Lost in Space, I shaved my head. Yep. But yeah, that whole Dracula thing that's got me laid a couple times.
Oh,
So
God.
thank you, Gary. I appreciate it.
Except for that was
That's
a
why
horrible
he's your-
rendition of Dracula. Okay, the problem was that it was very accurate to the book.
Book's not that good.
The actual novel Dracula is not that good. Like the story of Vlad Tepes becoming the night, this evil creature, blood-sucking creature of the night, by renouncing God and all this. Yeah, great story there, Brom. Have someone else write it for you, will you, next time?
Yeah. I kind of feel that way about Frankenstein, too.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I'm like, oh, when I finally read that, I was like, oh, this is what they got all that stuff from? Like, this isn't that. It's good.
Honestly, I'll tell you what I think the problem is personally on both of them. It is the time period in which they were written.
Yeah.
Because Frankenstein was in the Regency period and Dracula was during the Victorian era, and they were just such repressed times that you couldn't, like, a lot of Dracula is basically a Victorian porn novel, is what it is. Because they have to use euphemisms for everything.
Throbbing member.
Not-
Fangs. Not fangs.
Not close enough to a good euphemism for the Victorians.
Yeah.
So I think that is part of the problem is they had to try to veil everything in both of those books because of their subject matters. One being, science and God and playing God in, Frankenstein, and then sex in Dracula. And it just, it made them both bad books because of having to veil their subject matter. But the stories, like the actual plots behind the stories are actually really good plots. And that's why they stick around.
Yeah, a lot of good things have come out of them.
Yes.
That's what she said.
horrible.
I don't know.
Anything else about this character?
Well, like I said, main thing is
He got you
the
laid?
quotes.
Oh.
Well, okay, Gary, that's Gary Oldman.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
like, hey, thanks, Gary. Appreciate it. But the quotes from the movie from anyway, it's just like, I hate stupid people, and I think that on a very regular basis when I'm at work. I'll be sitting there, I'll hear the customer come on the line, and I'll be like, oh, I hate stupid people. It's my daily quote. Keeps me in line.
You just got it pinned to your desk or whatever at work and just...
Well, if I could, I couldn't get away with that.
Yeah, you do share desks, don't you?
They'd walk me out for that, yeah. But, yeah, anyway, I'm trying to remember how to exactly win it, but it doesn't come to me right now. But when he's talking about, you know what I do like? A methodical, cold killer. He would immediately ask about the button on the bottom.
Yeah.
So,
Red button on the bottom of the gun.
Yep. We know what scene that is, right? I don't have to
Yeah,
explain the scene.
no, I've seen that movie more times than any movie ever, probably.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I didn't
I'm
realize you were
like,
that much
I know,
I love that movie. It's one of my
I know
favorites.
that's not true for me because I know I have seen at least The Nightmare Before Christmas and the Rocky Horror Picture Show more. But like that movie comes on TV so often that it's like, oh, Fifth Element's on. I
Yeah,
start watching
exactly.
it.
I've watched it on purpose more times than any other movie, plus the amount of times that it's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, even on non-cable television,
Yeah.
it's on fairly
It's one
regularly.
of the like 5 DVDs I still own.
I've never actually owned it.
It was
I don't think I've ever owned it.
It was the first movie I ever saw that was on DVD that said it was formatted for Superbit.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't know what that is
I was
either.
like, whatever that is.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I love that movie. That's such a good movie. Just the whole plot of it. Just love that movie.
I'd like to
Okay,
see
so I
it on
thought I was a
Blu-ray.
freak for being such a fan of that movie.
Oh, no, it's
a great
I'm in the
movie.
right group for that. Okay.
A freak for liking Fifth Element?
I mean, being
Element
a
is
big
great movie.
Fifth Element fan.
Super awesome movie.
I don't hear people talk about it very often. But I guess it doesn't really need to be talked about.
Everybody just assumes. I say big bada boom so much.
Big bada boom.
Lilo Dallas Multipass.
Corbin does.
No, she says Lilo Dallas.
Does she say Lilo
Yeah.
Dallas?
Lilo Dallas Multipass. Yeah. Mason,
Yes.
number 5.
Well, Darth Vader.
Because he's Darth Vader.
Because he's Darth
There's
Vader.
one I'm thinking is going to be on everybody's list.
I actually deliberately did not put him on my list.
This is top 5 antagonists. I wasn't trying to go for cliche or not cliche or what would be on everybody's or nobody's list or whatever. I went for the ones I feel like. I knew like some of my protagonists would, not necessarily be on everybody's list, but.
See, I love a good villain, so I had such a long list of antagonists to start with at the beginning of this. I was like, okay, when I'm narrowing this down, I'm going to try and pick stuff other people won't, so that we're not repeating ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because our protagonists had a couple of good repeats there. So
They were pretty quality repeats, though.
Yeah, they
And
are.
by the way, high five, I knew you'd have me covered on the Morpheus talk.
Yeah. But yeah, so Vader, because.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Because he's the motherfucking Darth Vader. I mean,
If anybody needs a reason why
Yeah.
Darth Vader would be on this list, you probably shouldn't be listening to a Nerd Effect podcast. Like,
yeah, if I need to justify this to anyone,
you're listening to the wrong thing.
yeah,
Anybody who can wear a helmet that looks like the head of a penis and then choke you with his fingertips from a distance?
and pull off the helmet.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never even noticed that it looked like one until you said that just now.
You're welcome.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
So I'm going to be thinking about that next time you put on your Darth Vader hoodie.
You know what? I'm gonna punch you in the face next time I
But
wear
her Darth Vader hoodie doesn't have the actual, like,
Well,
helmet.
oh no, it
portion.
does. The hood has the helmet printed on it,
Yeah.
and you zip it all the way up to the hood, and it's got the Darth Vader helmet, but my head is so big that I can't zip the hood up all the way.
Oh,
My nose, it just, it doesn't
The
work out.
zipper just
But yeah, no,
jams
it's got
in
like
you.
mesh where the eye holes are, and then mesh where the mouth hole is.
I know, but, like, it's got the mask portion, but the actual, like,
it's
helmet portion
printed
that sits
on it.
top. Oh.
Yeah.
It's printed. I mean, it's not shaped like it, so it looks weird
Yeah.
because it's a hood. But yeah, it's the coolest $10 I've ever spent.
It was only $10?
Yeah, it was on sale at Kohl's on the clearance rack, and I almost crapped my pants.
That's so much wind.
I know. I find the best hoodies on clearance.
I would have bought that for $10.
They had a Spider-Man one too. It was pretty sweet.
I think they had a Boba Fett. I would have rocked the Boba Fett.
Boba Fett would have been cool.
They had a Venom one there once that I saw that was pretty badass.
I don't know if I could have chosen between the Boba Fett and the Darth Vader. I think I would have gotten both of them instead of the normal people clothes I got.
That would have been a good.
Yeah, I think that's what I would have done.
Fucking normies.
Right?
Yeah.
I only worn those red pants like twice. I could have traded those in for a Boba Fett hoodie.
Yeah. It's easy. That is an easy choice.
I'm not the kind of personality that can pull off red pants. I can't do it. Keep trying.
I can pull off one color pant. Black.
Yeah. I like my weird brown jeans.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
I really do. I mean, I could go on about why, but it's Vader. I think we all know why.
He's your father?
Yes.
He never actually says that.
He has a lot of illegitimate children.
Well, two.
Well, That's true. But they weren't.
And they were twins, so it was really a one-shot
And they
deal.
weren't actually illegitimate
Yeah,
children. They
were
were married.
Yeah. Why do you gotta hate, Dustin?
So, hey, because it leads to hate leads to the dark side eventually. Right?
Yeah.
He's trying to recover himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see
It
that.
kind of
If you
worked.
can give me the quote, we can consider it recovered.
The whole quote.
Yes.
Dark side.
God, it's like
In the Yoda voice.
hate leads to suffering.
In the Yoda
leads
voice.
to-
You know, I'm with Mike.
leads
Do
to
the Yoda
something.
voice.
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Now do it in the Yoda voice. I think he's forgiven. I don't know which end of my list to start from.
The top. Just go.
Okay.
There
Well-
is no try, only do.
I'm not wearing that shirt today.
So my number 5 is Randall Flagg from The Stand. Because he is a creepy fucker. He's the sort of demonic villain presence. It's basically this dude that wears all denim and a smiley face button and gets people to do terrible, horrible things. And he's horrific. And I actually didn't realize until I was sort of trying to refresh my mind, because it's been a while since I've read that one, and I didn't exactly have time to reread The Stand before we did this.
Really? You didn't have time? You didn't have time over the last week to reread The Stand?
I do have a graphic novel of it that I won,
Which you won.
at the Bolorama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I didn't actually realize he was in the Dark Tower series also, which I wasn't aware of. Because Stephen King likes to use his characters in different worlds.
Yes.
I love that. It's neat, especially when he completely changes their personality. So the guy that was a bad guy in one of the books you read last time is a good guy, but this guy's always a bad guy, and he's kind of horrifying. I'm trying to find a more detailed description. The Dark Man, he's, I guess, based on I was seeing on Facebook this week, Stephen King posted a thing that he was talking about, where Randall Flagg was based on a poem that he wrote in college, which I can't find, but I would love to read. So yeah, he's just an evil presence. And he's pretty scary. That's my number 5. Oh, here. He is the embodiment of evil, is basically the description that I just found. So, yeah. Not a nice man.
So he's like Sylar without superpowers?
Yeah. Have you not read The Stand?
No.
Oh. So there's this plague, and most of the people die. And, they start having these weird dreams. And some of them go to Vegas to be minions for Randall Flagg and do evil things. And then some of them go to this backcountry farm to meet this old lady who's like 100 years old and who's the embodiment of good. And they end up, it's like a war between good and evil. It's really epic and awesome.
Is it a stand?
Yes. Yes, it is. But he's super scary because he acts like he's one of those guys, those villains that acts like they're super buddy and easygoing and a super cool guy. I mean, he's wearing all denim and a smiley face button, and he's got long 90s hippie weird mullet hair.
I would run from him because he has bad fashion and hair sense.
Yeah, I don't trust him instantly. And then he just he makes people go crazy and do all this wacky shit, and he tries to get a hold of nukes to launch them at the good people, and it's like, it's,
Yeah, I guess the little pyro guy. He's
Yeah,
all, like,
trash
super
man,
happy.
trash can man. Yeah.
He's super happy with the nuke.
I recommend reading the story, not watching the made-for-TV miniseries.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's fine. They did okay. And actually, the actor they had play Randall Flagg. It was exactly how I pictured him when I read the book.
I'm trying to
But
think. It wasn't Storm of the Century. That was one I remember watching on TV. That was Stephen King. It was like a 3-part miniseries.
I love Stephen King. I've been obsessed with Stephen King since a way younger age than I probably should have been allowed to read his stuff. Because our neighbors down the street had a yard sale, and they had like an entire blanket that was covered in Stephen King and Dean Koontz novels, and they sold them to me for $5. So all I had to do was like walk home, get a wagon, and then come back and get all the books. And I was in maybe 7th grade
I think that's about when most people start getting into Stephen King.
Is it?
Yeah.
I never fully read anything by Stephen King, but what I did pick up,
I still love his stuff.
it was just before we left Hawaii. We stopped at a mini mall, real quick, and it had a grocery store in there. It had a little book area. I think it was at Kmart. Now I think about it. It had a book area, and I saw Stephen King's The Dome.
Oh, that one's good.
All I read of it was the prelude, and it was just really good. It was actually pretty
The
decent.
last book of his that I actually bought was Hearts in Atlantis, and I was kind of disappointed in it. And I think that I haven't really bought any of his stuff since then, and I keep meaning to get back into him. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed in that one, and they made it into a crappy movie with Hannibal Lecter.
All right,
Yeah.
Mike, you're number 4.
Aren't you doing yours?
Yeah,
No.
indeed.
Or we're gonna do it in the fucked up order where we just alternate around the table.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, so I wasn't prepared for that. Alright, so my number 4, Vegeta.
Ooh, I know who that is.
Hell,
Not because I watched it, but because my brother watched it.
But he ultimately ends up becoming a good guy, though.
eventually. But, first he's got to beat the shit out of everybody. And he's never really that nice about it.
I would have put Majin Buu ahead of Vegeta.
And lost.
Majin Buu, he's like this little... He's kind of hard to explain.
Mm.
He's got like 4
That's okay.
forms.
That's okay.
There's Kid Buu.
He's like a wad of pink bubble gum.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I've seen
But
it, yeah.
that's his ultimate form, though, is the wad of pink bubblegum. Or is it the Kid Buu that's the ultimate form?
Oh.
This sounds like so many conversations I overheard coming out of my brother's bedroom when he was a kid.
Honestly, it's been so long since I've watched it, I can't even remember.
I want to say it was Kid Buu that was his ultimate form. There was like
I know his
there was like this regular
weird
like
order.
I was more of a Sailor Moon fan.
the regular version of him, and then there was like this weird elongated version of him, and then there was like the fat version
She
of him.
said.
Oh.
And then there was like the Kid Buu version.
I think the
of him.
Kid Buu was the last one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was weird with him.
But then there's Vegeta with his Kakarot.
All I know is
Kakarot!
his name always
Kakarot!
made me giggle a little bit. Vegeta.
Oh wait. Anyway, continue talking about Vegeta.
Vegeta! And, eventually he nails Bulma and, they make Trunks, and Trunks is one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z characters ever. So, Vegeta holds a special place in my heart for villainy. Mm-hmm.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000! What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right!
Is that the thing
Because
that you
you
were
had
trying
to.
to find?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So
9,000!
I agree. Vegeta's a badass.
Boom.
Nerds.
It's like, well, okay, so...
Wait, what's this called again, Nikki?
Sports Effect.
No.
Oh, the Nerdist.
No.
Sportsist?
No.
Can I phone a friend?
Yeah, you can phone me. How's that?
What's it
You
called?
should call
Nerd
up Angie and
Effect.
say, "What's the name of the podcast again?" See if she
Why are you
answers
calling
on-
me so late?
Put her on speakerphone.
I think why are you calling me so late would be the answer I get.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Anything else on Vegeta?
Let's
His name
see.
sounds like vagina?
Actually, no.
Or a
But-
vegetarian?
Like a vegetarian vagina.
Well, I always liked his approach on
Vegetarian.
things. So Goku goes out and he learns how to become a Super Saiyan. Vegeta's all like, "What the hell?" Because he's like the Saiyan prince, and he should be the Super Saiyan and all that. And it just pisses him off so much that he goes out and just about kills himself training in order to basically find out how to go Super Saiyan. And it's just where Goku's all like happy-go-lucky, and yeah, I can do it, and just goes out and does it, and puts his heart into it. Vegeta's just like this rage-powered, It's his rage that drives him and pushes him forward, and he uses it to really good effect. I find that very interesting. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Makes sense to me anyway.
Yep.
Rage.
I was never a big Dragon Ball fan, so I don't have much to say on it.
One of the few shows I actually watched when they got out.
My brother really liked it.
Stuff.
I think it's all about being at the right age when it's available on television in your area.
Toonami.
Kind of like Sailor Moon. That was available on television when I was at an age where I was like, what is this thing? Yeah.
Indeed. Mason, what's your number 4?
Con!
Ooh.
Oh, I'm going to have to find that soundbite, too.
No, you're not.
Yes.
No.
Mason
I
just
want
did
to.
it.
Okay, fine.
He just did it fine.
But the
Why do you-
shit.
But Mason did fine.
Okay, fine. I'll leave it alone.
It's 10:30. Mason did fine.
So we're only about an hour into the show.
Oh,
So,
Jesus.
Are we?
Mason did fine.
yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Con. I mean, no offense to Benedict Cumberbatch, because you are a good actor, sir.
Cumbersnatch?
But, you're not Ricardo Montalban as Con. Sorry.
Whole lot of vagina coming out of
Oh.
your face today.
No, haven't you ever heard? Okay, that was a really, really wrong thing to say. But have you ever heard him called Benedict Cumbersnatch? You've never heard that.
It's because
It's from a thing, and I can't remember what.
Well,
but,
it's totally an obvious joke, is all.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Didn't make it up.
earworm thing.
Earworm, yeah.
And basically the only person who ever really put Kirk in his place. I mean,
Which he
Kirk,
needed. Let's face it.
Kirk wins eventually, kinda, sorta, but after losing Spock, but Khan was like the one guy who really put Kirk into his place and actually really beat him. And well, yeah, like Nikki said, let's face it, Kirk kind of needed it.
Mm-hmm. Really kind of did.
So yeah, and he's just great villain. Like everything they did, how Ricardo Montalban portrayed him, the intelligence, the ruthlessness. Yeah, generally, great antagonist for Kirk and a great villain.
Agreed. Sci-fi villainy at its awesomest.
Yep.
Nikki?
So I'm skipping around on mine because I realized I had 2 Stephen King characters next to each other on my list. I'm mixing it up. So my 4th one is the White Witch from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe because she scared the ever-loving crap out of me as a kid.
Now, from the book, the PBS
The book.
Master Series.
Always
or
the book, Dustin. Always
Just because
the book.
you don't read doesn't mean the rest of us do.
I like the PBS series.
I am the kid who got in trouble for reading in school. I did that.
Okay.
Yeah. Always the book. I still have
I got in
my
trouble for
copies
drawing in
of this
class,
series.
so
I got
I
in
feel
trouble
your
for that
pain.
too, but, I mean, she made unending winter, turns people into stone, has a sleigh driven by wolves, into which she lures young children with candy, who she then makes her evil minions. Like, that's evil, evil lady.
Yes.
Yeah, super evil, super scary.
I'd have been down with everything except for the never in winter part because I don't like the cold.
Yeah.
But I could have been an evil minion.
I wouldn't mind a minion, except I liked all the magical creatures, and she froze them into statues. And that made me sad because...
Then you had to have your Jesus allegory come and save them.
Yeah, which I did not catch on to as a child. I was just like, there's a magical lion. This is awesome. And then as an adult, when I've, heard about all that Jesus allegory crap, I was like, oh man, why do you have to take this thing that I loved as a child and turn it into...
It's because it was always a Jesus
I
allegory.
know, but when you're a kid, you don't catch that stuff. It's just a super cool lion fighting an evil lady, and kids are helping, and that makes it awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
if
and
nobody
then I
had
would say
told me it was a
the-
Jesus allegory lion,
Yeah,
I would not have caught on to it. I would not have been any more prone to being a religious person.
Yeah, in the movies,
Yeah. In the movies, they made it super
yeah,
obvious.
it was like.
But
they
I
took
do
out,
like the Regina Spektor song that they have in the newest movie. Or not the newest. In one of them, Regina Spektor does a really cool song, and I like her a lot.
Don't
So
know who that is.
Oh, she's really great. You'd like her, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I mean, she's in some of the other stories in that series too, but in that one in particular, when she's at the height of her power and just super evil, she was pretty scary when I was a kid. That was the part of the book that I would skip over sometimes, was the ones where she was in it. Because I read that one a lot. The book, not the PBS special, Dustin.
Well, you're not going to read the PBS special.
if you had subtitles on.
Ooh, son, you got owned.
I have no comeback for that. Well played, sir.
That was well played, because you know what? I usually had subtitles on my TV as a kid, because I would be watching it late at night when I wasn't supposed to. And you can turn the volume down and read it. It's a good trick. It is. It's a great trick.
Then you can't hear the inflections and voices and...
Yeah, but if you're watching, you can see the intentions behind the words. Stop yawning.
Sorry.
Not allowed.
Been a long day.
No, it hasn't. Keep going.
List, go.
Positive mindset. It's early. It hasn't been a long day. You can do this.
Number 4. The Master.
Ah.
Of Doctor Who fame. The most notorious of foes for the Doctor.
Yes.
Who, his most recent incarnation is really the only one I'm familiar with. I know he's had a couple, I think, in the classic series.
Well,
he's kind of...
He is another Time Lord.
Yes, and he's...
Can we revisit that Tim Curry as the Master idea that we had several podcasts ago? Because I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
I agree.
Or David Bowie. He would be a really good villain. Good.
Bowie isn't a villain?
Exactly. I love David Bowie.
So do I. I'm just saying.
I love David Bowie so much.
He's kind of a...
Just keep him away from the rolled up socks and the spandex pants and it would be fine.
Yeah.
And I made Dustin picture it.
Peace.
Aw.
So yeah, the Master. He's, again, another Time Lord who's pretty much psychotic.
Yes.
And has gone
But he
off
named
the
himself the Master.
Not really sure what else to say about him. He's a Time Lord. He doesn't have a sonic screwdriver. He has a laser screwdriver.
I had to.
Are you my mummy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the mics picked it up.
Yeah.
I did it right below the microphone.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he can't hear the heart. He keeps hearing the drum beats in his head, which is the heartbeat of a Time Lord, and he had been exposed to the untempered schism.
All the Time Lords have, though.
But they said it fucked with his head in particular.
Yeah.
Some do, some don't. Well, they purposely sent the beat to him when he was a child in order to make him the conduit so they could try and come back.
Right.
So it was kind of their fault to begin with.
Well played, Time Lords. George.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the Time Lords are kind of douchebags.
At least the Council is.
Timothy Dalton.
Who has the most epic of voices.
He really does.
He's right up there with James Earl Jones and...
Speaking of which, I know who you're trying to remember
Morgan
the name
Freeman?
of. Yes.
Morgan Freeman.
Have you
and-
seen the Lego Movie commercial where he literally reads the phone book?
No.
It's a thing.
I might actually listen to him read the phone book.
No, and it's all based around that joke. And the Lego character guy that he reads the phone book in this commercial, and you're looking it up right now, aren't you?
No.
Yes. It makes me want to see the Lego Movie, but I have a feeling I'm not going to want to spend movie money on that. So
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a Redbox thing. But they've actually got really good people as the voices.
And I have to say, while it would be cool to have, Morgan Freeman narrate my life, I think Samuel L. Jackson would do a better job because I need a few more uses of the word motherfucker.
Well, and I think that if Morgan Freeman narrated my life, I would constantly be reminded of how boring my life is and how I should do things worthy of Morgan Freeman narrating my
I
life.
think this is it right here.
Let's go! Here we
but it's like 3.5 minutes long.
So we don't need to do that.
It's really cool though. You could put the link in the post and people could watch it themselves.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty freaking funny.
Oh, I'm trying to fast. Oh, wait, review.
It's got glowy eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doobie.
Hold that thought.
He's
Hold
playing.
it.
Dead air.
So that was clear, right?
It was an honor to be portrayed by the golden-voiced Morgan Freeman. That man could read the phone book and make it sound interesting. 555-3492. Just listen to that rich molasses.
You think that's for...
Doesn't that make you want to see that?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't even know what the plot is, and they're just like, oh,
Morgan Freeman reading a phone book.
it looks like stop animation with real Legos. Which is pretty cool. Anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to derail.
No, that's
bad.
fine. That's
Morgan
totally worth
Freeman.
the stop there. So yeah, Master, badass.
Yes.
Number 4.
Morgan Freeman and molasses.
Mason.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Mr. Oogie Boogie
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Because, well, he's a ghost. He's evil. He's Cab Calloway. It's all awesome.
And he's made of burlap.
And he's made of burlap and insects.
And bugs, yeah. Don't
Yes.
forget the bugs.
Lots and lots of bugs. And yeah.
He has
he's-
child minions, too. What is that theme with the antagonists and child minions?
Children are easy to manipulate and like doing cruel things.
That's true. And they
Despicable
like
Me
bugs.
definitely has minions.
Ah. Finally saw the second one.
Gru was technically an antagonist in the first movie.
So, but yeah, Oogie Boogie, because he is that awesome. And he kidnaps Santa Claus.
He was scary, too.
Santa Claus?
No, well, the Sandy Claus in that movie was actually, yeah, a little creepy, but Oogie Boogie was pretty creepy.
Yeah, because he's Oogie Boogie. He was kind of meant to be, really. And yeah, but yeah, he's evil. He knows it. He's happy with it and does evil things because that's, damn it, what he likes to do.
And he's got a great singing voice.
Yeah. Well, Danny Elfman.
Most evil villains should have a great singing voice.
They
It
should.
seems like it's way better than a monologue is.
Yeah. Why just do a monologue when you can sing your monologue?
Exactly.
So yeah.
Input Disney movie here.
Just, Oogie Boogie says there's trouble.
As long as they stay away from my Star Wars.
You don't want to be
gonna do-
Spielberg in Star Wars?
I think they're gonna do
don't
okay.
that.
They haven't screwed up Marvel. That's what I keep saying.
Yeah.
And, worst comes to worst, if they do fuck it up, we can just pretend it didn't happen. Like we do with the episodes that shall not be named.
Well, that's all they're gonna do is just look at the Marvel Studios and
They're
go,
rewriting
How
canon.
much did you make? How much did you
Yeah.
make on the Avengers again? Yeah. Okay, we'll just keep doing that and we'll be happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
My turn?
Yes.
Okay, my number 3 is Pennywise the Clown from It. Because
There's some terror right there.
fuck
Jesus.
clowns, you guys. We all float down here.
Another
Yeah,
Stephen
just
King entry.
fuck clowns.
Is that
yeah.
your other Stephen King entry?
Yeah. Yes. Stephen
Because
King.
it's Pennywise.
Also, speaking of Tim Curry,
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't think I've seen the movie all the way through, but I have a copy of the book that I've read to tatters. I think it's actually the one I got at that yard sale back in the day.
Nice.
Yeah, if you aren't familiar with this horrifying story, I don't know if the movie ended up resolving quite the same way as the book
It
did.
didn't, but
Okay, well there's a reason for that. Basically there's this evil thing living in the city of Derry. I think this one takes place in Derry, doesn't it? It's in Maine. All Stephen King is in Maine. And it
Don't
kidnaps
move to Maine.
people,
I have gathered that from Stephen King.
Yeah.
I am not moving to Maine.
and it's, yeah, no, seriously. It's this group of friends that go back because they, get a call from somebody. And they're all remembering these suppressed memories of when they fought this thing as kids by having sex in a cave, basically.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. But it's this evil thing, and one of the forms it takes on is this crazy fucking clown with fangs. And,
that Tim Curry did a awesome job.
oh,
portraying.
he was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I hate clowns.
did you ever see Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
That's different.
I don't think I want to.
It's hilarious.
Is it? Yeah, it's still clowns. Yeah, horrifying. The end. Don't like clowns. And
Pennywise.
Sex can kill villains. Thanks, Stephen King. No, like literally they do it in a cave and it keeps them from getting lost or something. I don't remember the exact plot point that led up to it, but it's like a bunch of 8-year-olds doing it in a cave. Yeah, it's
weird.
Yeah. I really don't understand why he resolved it that way. I really get why they left it out of the movie. Yeah. That man has a really warped brain.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was something to do with it kidnapped children, and if they did that, they weren't really children anymore.
Yeah.
It was something along those lines. Yeah.
They take that step into adulthood and it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 4 boys and their 1 female friend gangbanging in a cave. Because this evil, weird spider, demon, clown thing is killing
Granted,
people.
it's all the scary things.
It's like every scary thing. Like if you could melt scary things in the microwave, like put all the scary things that you can picture in a cup in the microwave and just stick it in there and then pour it all into a mold and it's like in the shape of that thing, but it's still got all the different scary things poking out. That's what it is.
Kind of like, what's the thing from Harry Potter that they go ridiculous and it changes into...
Yeah, but
like
not...
It's basically nightmare fuel.
Yeah, but this is like, it would eat that and absorb its powers.
I think Pennywise would eat a Dementor.
I think it would eat it, yeah.
Dementors are only part.
Not a Dementor. It's a,
It's a little thing they kept in the box and it would come out and it would take up...
Boggart.
Boggart, yes.
Yes.
It would eat a Boggart and a Dementor and then pick its teeth with Voldemort.
Yeah.
Is what would happen. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't fuck in a cave and get rid of Voldemort.
And then it would shit them out and throw them at Malfoy. Yeah, it was pretty horrifying. Actually, I think if this was in if I had an order for my list, that would be number 1, scariness. Yeah. Ugh.
We're on number 3.
Yeah.
Word.
By number 3, Magneto.
Ball sacks. That was going to be my next one. Go ahead.
It's okay.
Well, he's got super crazy, awesome magnetic powers, and he pretty much
He
uses
can rip
it to
he
destroy
can magnetize
And the
rip
best helmet ever.
Sure.
His helmet's cool.
Except for in the movies. I don't know.
Not in the movies. I'm talking the comics.
Yeah.
I'm always talking paper format.
I always thought his helmet looked dumb. I mean, but the power of blocking Professor X level telepathy is awesome.
I thought it was cool, and it had cool powers.
And being able to rip Apocalypse in half is kind of pretty impressive.
Being able to,
and he
magnetize
always
the
thinks he's in the
hemoglobin
right.
blood
He's got
and suck it out.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that whole I am a justified person doing things for the betterment of society. Like, it's so funny because for somebody who was formed in World War II, he sure does have a Hitler mentality.
It's because he was a Jew in World War II and is trying to do everything possible to keep something like the concentration camps from happening to mutants.
Yeah.
Which is
to
weird
his people.
By making them happen
in
to
his
other
own
people,
mind,
yeah.
he is the protagonist from his point of view.
Oh, yeah, and that's why he's so awesome.
But, yeah, Magneto's...
Ian McKellen, yay or nay?
Yay. I think Ian McKellen
I think yay too.
A great job in anything he acts.
Giant, yay.
Yeah, he's a giant bag of wind.
He is.
Yeah. Wait, older British actors being awesome at their jobs? It never happens.
You know what we realized?
Michael Gambon, Ian McKellen,
we realized
Stewart.
we realized this weekend that Showtime is like America's BBC, because you know how there's like 5 actors on the BBC. Showtime's the same way, because we were watching Dexter and I was like, wow, the entire cast of the L Word was in this.
I don't know what else to say about Magneto. He's just pretty
badass.
He's like Marvel's, like pretty much ultimate mutant bad guy.
For being super evil and super bad, I like him.
Well, the thing is that, like, he's
relatable.
Yeah.
Well,
thing.
And he's not always a bad guy. Because sometimes he is right, to start with. And second of all, Like
Like with the Sentinels.
yeah, that whole, Crisis.
Days of Future
Futures
Past,
Past.
you guys! I'm gonna have to reread that before the movie comes out.
And like also like when like
Really
the thing
excited.
is that even though Professor X has to fight him tooth and nail a lot of the time, when Professor X is like, look, I need my friend Eric to take care of my school for me and do things my way with my students because that's what I need. He's like, okay, I'll do it for you, brother.
Yeah.
And
He's like the
he
most
doesn't
cool
violate
bad guy.
Professor X's protocols when he does it. So
True. It's pretty cool.
yeah.
That must have been so fucking... Can you imagine being in that school and being like, wait, what? Are you sure?
Have you seen the Wolverine movie yet?
Yeah.
Stuck around for the extra at the end.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I'll take the pat down. I thought that was the best part of the whole thing. I mean, when they show
Yeah.
up, that was cool, but I'll opt for the pat down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I laughed really hard.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go through that. Every time.
Beep! We've got him 15 feet away. It's still going off. What the hell?
Anyway, that's my number 3.
All right.
Mike.
Okay. The Joker.
Nice.
And not any real specific incarnation of the Joker. The comics, the graphic novels, Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Mark Hamill. Pretty much
Mark Hamill
every version.
is
Oh my God.
the voice of Joker.
Just like Kevin Conroy is the voice of Batman.
Yeah, I mean, he is the voice of Joker. Like, as far as just simply the voice, I think Mark Hamill is the best appearance symbol, just for the voice.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I love that not only was he Luke Skywalker, but he's the epitome of the Joker. Like, really, dude? You don't have enough nerddom conquered? You gotta
hey,
overachiever much?
Yeah, I mean, Luke Skywalker's kind of top of the pyramid anyway.
I actually
and then
really
he's got
don't like Luke
Joker under his
Skywalker as a
belt.
character. He annoys me. Until Return of the Jedi,
Okay,
yeah.
when he gets all badass and vengeful.
With the black suit. And
Yeah.
everything.
Mhm. Well,
And then almost falls to the darkness, but then redeems both him and his father.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do the stupid CG edit of Anakin.
LOL.
Um,
LOL. So yeah, Joker. He does all the crazy shits.
And you
All the
got Harley
random
Quinn.
ass, weird, crazy stuff. And you're like, oh my god, this guy is total chaos and doesn't know what the hell he's doing. No, he's got a plan for the whole time. Every little, anything you think he's screwing up. No, it's his plan.
yeah.
This is what he wanted.
Yeah. That's like one of the things like, I'm currently doing something with video games I cannot speak about, but that stopped me from, among other things, playing a playthrough of Arkham Asylum.
I want to play that one really bad.
That's one of the problems with Arkham Asylum is that you're Batman going up against the Joker. And like every little thing that looks like it's going wrong with his plan, I know isn't going wrong because I've read the comic books and I know he plans it that way. And I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, it's like, I know I'm accomplishing stuff in the game, but at the same time, it feels like I'm not, but on that level of, I know as someone who's read Batman, and Batman would know because of having faced the Joker so many times that he doesn't know where he's actually succeeding in doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, yeah. But they did. I mean, admittedly, because that the game can make me have that feeling. Kudos to the game producers.
And the fact that it's also voiced by Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill.
Yeah,
That helps a lot too.
Yeah. But
I think they even got Tara Strong for Harley Quinn too.
I love Harley Quinn.
Mr.
J. Yeah.
But plus, like with Harley Quinn, I think how she became a character was awesome
Mm-hmm.
because
the animated series of all
the
places.
animated series is where she started, and then they were like, you know what? She's actually a really cool character. Let's adopt her into the comic books.
Yeah. She's really, really, really cool.
Yeah, and obviously, the Joker twisted and made her demented and stuff, but.
Yeah, they're great together.
But they're great. They're so awesome together as a couple. And
The most adorable little ball of chaos you've ever seen.
that's right.
They would have the evilest babies, you guys.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think they're, I just think that the whole,
What-
dynamic between them is just awesome most of the time.
What does it say about clown society that two of our antagonists are clowns?
Clowns are fearsome to most people.
Yeah.
They're not happy and friendly. Of course, well, the thing is like French clowns were originally not happy. They were meant to be scary.
Yeah.
And then somehow in America we got in our heads that clowns were supposed to be funny. Yeah, and
Which in itself is kind of a creepy tune.
We
It
sing
is.
that to our dog all the time because his name's Circus.
Yeah, I was watching IT Crowd, one where the guy pulls a clown shoe off and starts beating him with it.
Oh yeah.
I've never actually watched that show. Now I really want to. Like, I had no interest in it until you said those words.
You have to see. It's
Now I need to
it's
go find
British
it.
nerd comedy, man. It's amazing. You can't not watch it. It's worth it. It's only 2 seasons long.
most British shows don't last very long. I mean, Doctor Who is a major exception. And they don't go,
I made a joke today.
Was it funny, Nikki?
Yes. So I'm trying to remember exactly what I said. We were talking about sports. Jesus, no story should start out that way. And I was telling Angela how I really don't understand why people like football. I don't think it's, like, I get the rules, but I don't think it's an entertaining sport to watch. Like, I like watching basketball on TV. I like hockey. And if I'm there, I like baseball. It's boring as hell on TV, but I like it if I'm there. And how I just don't get football. She's like, well, it's because, it's not a long season. It's over really quickly. It's super intense. And then you have to wait forever for the next season to start. And I was like Doctor Who! And I got it.
Except for Doctor Who's actually good.
Exactly. And I still don't like football, but I get it now.
Yeah.
It was funny to me, though. I was like Doctor Who.
Go Seahawks.
Broncos.
I have been having to listen all
Broncos.
month to the fact that Ange called this at the beginning of the season.
Seahawks.
Yeah, she knew. Anyways, oh God, please stop talking about football. Mason, go. Wait, Mike, were you done?
No, wait.
Yeah, we got the weird order, so
Yeah.
Wait.
I think you start.
I think we're good on Joker. So
Okay.
Nikki,
Oh, it's me?
You're number 2.
Wait,
I didn't even notice we were doing weird order. I thought
haven't
Mason
gone for
was.
mine yet.
Yeah.
It's my number 2.
Oh yes.
well, no, this is number. I just did my number 3, right?
Okay.
Wait,
Your
I
3
already
was
did
Oogie
my
Boogie,
3.
right?
My 3 was Oogie Boogie.
I already did my 3.
So you
did-
start 2.
So we're doing the messed up order.
But I didn't
so-
start the first time.
Yeah, it's a fucked up order.
Jesus. Okay.
number 2.
So I am changing my list because I had an honorary list and Dustin stole one of mine. So my number 2 is the Reavers from Firefly because they're horrifying.
Space zombies.
Space
Yay!
cannibals that are gonna cover their ship in your body parts because that's a fun thing. And you know what? Radiation's great. Let's eat each other. Whee! That was my Reavers impression.
That's a good enough review right there. You don't really have to go much further. Than
No,
that.
they're scary.
Yeah, so what was the quote from Zoe? They're going to, if they capture us, they will rape us to death, eat our flesh, and sew our skin into their clothing. And if we're very, very lucky, they will do it in that order.
Yeah. That's a pretty good antagonist right there.
Yeah.
I am glad they didn't encounter them more than they did because that's a
Yeah.
horrifying concept. Yeah. Oh, Joss Whedon, your warped brain.
Well, my number 2 will be pretty quick. It's the Joker.
Yeah.
All right.
Next.
Psychopath extraordinaire, clown prince of crime. He's
Mr. J.
Mr. J.
He's
Yeah.
just that awesome. Have you seen his new 52 incarnation where his like face skin is like peeled, but it's like pinned, is like strapped onto his face like a mask?
Yeah, that's
That.
because his face is
Scary.
taken off. He intentionally has it done by another
Because he's the
villain.
Joker.
Yeah. And then Harley breaks into the Gotham PD to get it back.
Oh, the face.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she goes AWOL from Suicide Squad to do it. So they send the rest of Suicide Squad to stop her. Doesn't work out so well.
Wow.
I haven't read any of the new 52.
I never got into Batman the comics that much, actually. That is one of the instances where I liked because I've got a bunch of old, like, detective comics, Batmans and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And he's, I mean, I like
Well, one of the things about Batman,
I like the darker books.
yeah. Well, so the thing about Batman is that there's been so many different like incarnations of him in a lot of ways. Yeah, it's always Bruce Wayne, but it's like, is this a dark and brooding Batman? Is this a grim Batman? Is this a campy Batman? Is this a serious detective Batman?
I really, really like the grim ones, but then I also really like the animated series from the 90s because that's what I watched as a kid.
I remember watching the animated series as a kid, and I remember watching the Mask of the Phantasm movie they made. And that was the first time that I'd ever seen Batman bleed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, that was the first, because you don't show blood on kids' cartoons, but
Right.
you put it into a movie format. He didn't, like, fully bleed. Like, I think he just caught a bullet in the arm and it just went...
Yeah.
But that was
squirted a
enough to
little
make
bit.
you go like, what?
You're like, what? Batman's bleeding, yo! And then, maybe not necessarily.
I like how
that.
as a kid you talked exactly like you do now.
I was only like a 10 or 11 at the time, but
Yeah.
the Mask of the Phantasm movie was badass. We got tickets, or we had won tickets from the Fox Kids and the Fox Kids series, like the Saturday morning cartoons or whatever, or after school or whatever. You call this number and you win, with your parents' permission, you win free tickets to the showing at such and such theater.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So me and my buddy Brian went there, and it was pretty cool.
Because it was Batman.
Yeah. So yeah, but like my Batman, like I got influenced by Frank Miller and scary guy, long beard, makes comics, Watchmen. Alan Moore.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was influenced by like, hey, Alan Moore is a scary guy if you look at
it was just that thought process. Just
Hey, I got there, didn't I?
yes, you did.
But like I was influenced by, Dark Knight Returns, Killing Joke, things like that. So
Again, he's the goddamn Batman.
he's the goddamn Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's that, it's like that dark Batman that's one of the reasons I liked the Nolanverse Batman so much, was that he was a dark Batman. He's, that's what I expect kind of from Batman, is this guy who does good because of a moral code that is the only thing that separates him from the bad guys, is that he brings in the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I always expect to the Batman to be. I expect him to use his gadgets and his deductive reasoning and all of his faculties to do it, but I don't expect him to be right in the head.
Yeah. I like it.
And like at the end of the Killing Joke, he's holding Joker and he says, you have to stop this. Eventually one of us is going to have to kill the other one. And Joker just laughs, and that's one of the reasons, Joker's so awesome, is that he knows he doesn't really care. Yeah.
Joker.
Yeah.
He's number 2 on my list. Mike, who's number 2 on your list?
My number 2 is Vader.
All right.
Yep.
Again, if you need an explanation, why are you watching the podcast?
Yes.
Vader was my first villain.
Yeah.
So he's the one that kind of stuck with me.
Yeah. Same here, really. He was kind of my first villain, too. And, I know the Emperor's a bad or evil guy, but he's just not...
That's
He's a
threatening
creepy
looking.
old guy in a cloak that shoots lightning.
He's
Yeah.
not a freaking awesome dude in a black outfit that...
A cybernetic dude in black armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's space goth.
Yeah.
Let's just admit
Yeah,
it.
he is space goth. He's totally space goth.
That voice. Just
James Earl
commanding
Jones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You. Yeah.
Yeah. I heard the guy who actually played Vader, because he was doing the lines on set, was upset when he found out that, because they didn't tell him until he was at the premiere, that he was voiced over by James Earl Jones.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
You just like James' voice better, dude. Sorry.
Well, he had this kind of, he was like this big, tall, Scottish dude. But the problem is that he was a big, tall Scottish dude. So he had like a brogue.
I find your lack of faith
It's disturbing.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't work. It doesn't
I
say
do-
this.
do
find your
not
lack of
want-
faith disturbing. Yeah, it's
You
not
know
the
what,
same.
boy? I'm your father.
Yeah, no, see,
No.
yeah.
Just no.
Who shut that is. Anyway.
Well, he didn't even get that one. The "I'm your father" line, the reveal. He didn't even get it. The only person who knew, there was only 2 people who knew until James Earl Jones got the line. It was Mark Hamill and Lucas.
Yeah,
And everyone thought like,
So everybody on set just shat their pants in unison right there. When
exactly.
no, he like the dude, like the big guy who was the guy who actually was Vader's body was still saying the lines in episodes 2 and episodes 2 and 3. But he said something totally different. And then Hamill reacts weirdly to it. Like overreacts to it because Hamill knew what was going to be said by James Earl Jones.
Oh.
Because, Lucas needed that reaction from Hamill.
So the guy in the suit's probably like, why are you acting this way?
What the heck? Yeah, because everyone else was like, what the hell? After he did it like that. And, Lucas was like, good, that's a wrap. And,
That's one way to keep it secret.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, when there's only 3 of you and you're looking at the other 2 going, okay, which one of you leaked it?
Yeah.
Speaking of leaked scripts, Quentin Tarantino's movie got leaked and now he says fuck you and then decided to stop making it.
Oh.
Okay, what was this one?
Was it 18 something or other? I can't. Anyway, you guys can continue.
Okay, so who's where are we at?
We're on you.
Me
Nathan.
for 2.
Number 2.
Handsome Jack from Borderlands and Borderlands 2.
Again,
he is one of those villains who is completely convinced, 100% without a doubt, 100% positive that he is the good guy. That what he is doing is right. He doesn't do anything wrong. Why are you stopping him? Why aren't you working for him? Damn it, can't you see that he's the good guy? And he's also really hilarious while he does that in that totally insulting kind of way that you just, you gotta kind of understand Borderlands to get. But yeah.
I've played enough Borderlands 2 to know.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah. Well, he gets a diamond pony made out of diamond, but it's not a statue, it's a living pony. And he names it Butt Stallion in your honor. He was thinking about piss for brains, but he thought that was too immature.
Wow.
Yeah. Train full of innocent people that was technically his property, but was stolen by the resistance who were trying to stop him. He kills he breaks and steals the train back, kills all of them, and starts Borderlands 2 at that point by trying to kill your character. Like with a bomb, and then you're thrown out of the train. And that's where the game begins.
Wow.
Yeah. Remember, he's the good guy.
Yeah.
At least according to his brain.
Yeah.
So
what are I'm trying to remember what was the names that they came up with for the bullymongs as you're trying to research them for that one dude. Like there was another one that was like fart something or
there was
Oh, we just did that quest last time we played too.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember them now. It was the last one was like penis farts or something.
Penis fart, yeah. It was something
or
was
cock
like,
farts or something. It was,
it was
he was like, he
hilarious.
giving up on the name.
Like, he's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
And then ultimately he just goes back to
Bullymongs.
And it's funny because the name, as you're researching
it's like
them,
Faravore is the first one he comes up with.
Well, and the name will change
In the game.
above the bullymong, so it'll say like penis fart above.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Borderlands 2 is hands down one of the greatest games. It
is hilarious.
I need more time to play it. It's,
but Handsome Jack, because of his utter conviction that he is the good guy and everything is just, so he is my number 2.
My list got modified to my number 1.
Well,
wait, I need to start.
He's starting number 1.
Oh, well, you were having me go after Mason, and I already did my number 2.
Right now, it's.
Have you not been paying attention?
We're doing the fucked up order.
Yeah.
It's just trust us. This
I go
works out.
first. He goes first.
As long
he
as it
goes
makes
first,
sense
he
to
goes
somebody.
It doesn't.
Go.
It doesn't,
So
but
there
we
you go.
have it worked out. We all.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as somebody can tell me what I'm doing.
first. Okay.
It's your number 1 next time it gets back to you, but now it is Dustin.
Okay.
So you're going to be the last
Because you
one.
started this round.
Okay.
So you started round 2, it's now round
Nope,
1.
it's fine. You don't need to explain it to me. Let's just do it.
Okay.
Go.
My number 1 is quick. Darth Vader.
Oh, man.
Well, okay. Now
so-
that we've
Defeats the
beaten
purpose of
this
me
dead
not
horse,
putting him on my
Jeez.
list.
or is it
He's
a
our
diamond
favorite
pony
villain.
named
He almost made my list.
Vader?
Yeah.
well, he's Vader. I mean,
I was trying to be
I was
original.
more surprised that like
Put Darth Maul on there just for his.
I liked
ninja.
Darth Maul. He was badass and his face was cool.
he was Ray Park, man, like doing awesome martial arts shit.
He
With a
saved
cool
episode 1.
face.
I don't care what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, if it weren't for him, I would just pretend those movies don't exist. But I like Darth Maul.
Weren't they trying to come up with a way to like bring him back in episodes 2 and 3, like giving him cybernetic legs or something like that?
Not really. People wanted them to do that, but I don't think they ever.
They
actually
could
had
do
those
a
plans.
Darth Maul origin story.
They did as a book,
Oh,
but it's a book.
I've heard
so
the books aren't very good.
but the book is now not.
From you, I think.
Yeah, most of the books are crap. Quite honestly, I'm sorry, but
Dustin, don't eat your headphones cord. It's not for dinner.
Sorry.
So, why Vader for you?
Just because he seems like
He's doing the force choke hand right now.
he
It's
seems to
just-
have the most.
evilness.
He's completely conflicted in his just in the way that he is as a person, and you can see it even as much as I hate to say it. When you see him as Anakin Skywalker, the confliction that it sucks. I think if anybody else was playing that role besides Hayden Christensen, it probably would have been a lot better. Just because Hayden sucks as an actor. I don't care what anybody says. But the conflict that he suffers of saying, well, why can't I be married? Why can't I be this and still be a Jedi?
yeah,
And the whole world just kind of comes down on him, and then that's kind of what happens to get him to the point where he ends up becoming Vader.
yeah,
I mean, he's named Vader before he gets the suit.
yeah. He is Darth Vader before he gets the suit. He is a Sith Lord before he gets the suit.
And
Maybe government should stop trying to regulate who people marry. Then we wouldn't have evil people. Sorry.
it's got very political.
I would say the problem is
I was
that,
being kind of joking, but
was gonna say,
I like that it made you uncomfortable. That made me happy.
see, normally I'm not going to argue with you, but in the case of Vader and the Jedi Order, I have to make an argument for it. It's because the weight of the world does come down on him. He is forced to make choices that a Jedi normally doesn't have to make. He tries to make them, and it ends up destroying everything because of that.
Maybe he could have made them better if they hadn't been all up in his junk.
Well, the only choice he could have made was to let, to his knowledge, because he was misinformed by,
Because they were all up in his junk.
well, in this case, it was the Sith up in his junk.
He was also way too influenced by the wrong
Because
people.
technically
Yeah.
the choice he made was the selfish one to try to save his wife and children when he thought they were in danger when they really weren't at the time. But to the Jedi, for a Jedi to make that choice, the Jedi has to choose the greater good over the individual good. And he wasn't able to make that choice. That's why Jedi refrain from all attachments.
To be fair, though,
I know.
To be fair, though, as Anakin
Couldn't resist.
Skywalker, he was also very power hungry
Yes.
because the
Well, he was naturally powerful, thought he was being held back. Yeah.
well, and the ambassador kind of opened up, and not ambassador, but basically who ends up becoming the emperor. I can't remember what his role is in the movie.
Prime Minister. at
Prime
that
Minister.
point.
He basically ends up like opening his mind. He's like, you shouldn't let them hold you back. You should blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. And he's like, you're fucking right.
Yeah.
What do you know?
I'm an easily influenced teenager in love. Tell me more, strange man with weird facial conditions.
He didn't have strange facial conditions.
Yeah, not at the time.
I
Mace
was
Windu
starting to
kinda-
get it.
Well, he was old, but
Mace Windu fried his face.
Thought I
Yeah.
remembered him being really creepy looking already at that point.
No, he
Was it just
an
like
old
general
guy.
creep?
it was just
factor?
general.
Okay.
General
I
old man
haven't-
creepiness.
Ian Stewart, I believe his name
I will
is good at doing evil and
admit
creepy.
that I've deliberately not watched the 1, 2, and 3 in a very long time. So I have them because they're Star Wars, kind of.
One
but-
sucks. If you watch 2 and 3 in the correct order with the rest of the movies, it actually makes it good.
Yeah.
And we had that
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
You did. I
Yes.
wasn't here. I listened to it. I felt like I was there.
Boom.
But anyway, I just think that's something that, even on a smaller level, anybody could fall into. And I think that makes Vader very relatable as a character. Maybe minus the power hungry part of it, but I mean, anybody can be at a point where they feel like they have to fend for their family. And have their world come crashing down on them, and that causes them to do some bad shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe get a deal with the mafia.
Is that what happened to you last night, Dustin?
I think so.
Okay.
That's why my pinky's missing.
Oh.
You just can't see it because it's under here. But
we're just kidding. We're
Yeah.
just kidding.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, Darth Vader. He's my number one. He's the badass.
This is Mike now,
Me?
Mike.
right? I don't know
Okay.
these. Okay.
Number
My
uno.
number one is probably not going to surprise anybody who knows me. And they're waiting. Okay.
Say it.
I know you, but I don't know what it is.
So Sephiroth.
Sephiroth.
I am so glad you sung that.
Sephiroth. Yeah, I have to.
I was trying to find my my music file I had for that, but I can't find it anywhere. It makes me sad.
Can I tell you something that will make you happy?
Okay.
Every time I go to the gym, as we're leaving, in my head I go do 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 do. Every time in my brain that happens. Like I've actually considered adding it to my workout playlist just so I can play it for myself.
Yay.
Final Fantasy VII was the greatest thing that ever happened to me as a young impressionable nerd. Thank you.
Yay.
We also own Advent Children because I wanted Angela to watch it. So we bought it at the thrift store.
Advent Children was actually a good animated movie.
Oh god, I love it so much. Way better than the first Final Fantasy movie, which I also liked, but
Yeah. But if there's something that Square Enix can do, it's fucking make an animation.
oh my god.
Dude, yeah, the
Oh, the
Advent Children
fucking
film was
motorcycle
awesome.
in that movie?
Yeah.
I wanted it.
Come on. Oh, here we getting there?
No.
Oh no, it's
It's
long.
a really long song.
Oh, the rock
It's
version.
Definitely, it's a metal version.
It's a really long song.
Yeah, just Dustin.
Dustin, stop it. It's 11:15.
I was hoping
We're
to hear
not
some-
listening to the Sephiroth song.
It takes. It's a good
Why
2-3
is it that
minutes
when one of
before you
us
get
does
into it.
something, he has to find the real version and play it?
I know.
You with Khan, me with Sephiroth. Why are we not good enough for you?
Yeah.
I should have cracked a smile sooner. I think I broke him.
No, I'm so wondering, dude.
I want an excuse to use my mixer. Is it okay?
Okay.
That's what it boils down to.
Maybe next time you should have all the sound bites pulled up and ready to go. And if you
I
can't,
have YouTube pulled up, ready to roll. I don't have all the sound bites ready
Well,
to roll. I don't know
then-
your guys' lists.
that was a Jinx table slam, buddy.
Boom.
Anyways,
You owe me a Coke?
Sephiroth.
Yay, Sephiroth.
Sephiroth.
So yeah,
He's got the katana from hell.
yeah, and just the
You like his
You know,
coat, don't you?
that too, yes. But I was thinking about, okay, so what video game bad guys, kind of mean stuff to me. And really Sephiroth was one of the few that I could come up with actually meant something. I mean, I played the shit out of Legend of Zelda. Ganon never really meant anything to me. He's just that guy, you go in the last room, kill him, and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see him anywhere else in the game, really. And, as like a lot of the games are that way. Bowser you see a little more often, but it's always the same fight over and over again.
Yeah.
So,
Very true.
it's the same kind of
You
thing.
jump over the bridge, you grab the thing, the bridge goes away, Bowser falls into the fire.
Yeah.
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 But,
Sorry, our princess is in another castle.
Fuck! How many castles
Sephiroth-
are there?
Yeah,
Well,
but
to
with
be
Sephiroth,
fair-
it was,
Mario 2, he's not in it. Mario 3, he actually tries to sit on you. He like jumps up in the air and smashes down. And
That would be my move too if I was a villain.
and in Super Mario World, he's actually floating around in this like kind of weird clown face. Interestingly enough,
Because clowns are evil.
and that kind of like a
That
clown
makes
Bowser
3
face.
times they've been
And you have to
mentioned.
like
That means they're coming.
you have to boot
Don't.
stuff up at him and try and get it to land on his
Please.
but,
Yes,
in Final
goodbye.
Fantasy 7, specifically,
The
you're,
greatest video game ever.
yeah, I mean, you're interacting with Sephiroth on a very regular, scale, and your whole goal is basically to find him,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and you're running around basically chasing him. So you have a lot of interaction with him, as a villain. On
I had a
game.
cat named Tifa because that video game meant so much to me.
Isn't Sephiroth's story is that basically he was a soldier that was kind of wronged, and he's just kind of very vengeful now about it?
He was actually an experiment.
Yeah, they were kind of
Yeah, so
clones,
they took Genova,
weren't they, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, they were clones from Genova. And Genova, he basically considered his mother, so he went and took Genova and decided to make them the master race. So, yeah. Yay, Sephiroth.
Sephiroth!
I dig it.
Besides, how many other bad guys have their own choir, you know?
Right?
Touche.
And they actually have that song that you were playing, by the way. That's why I was like, we're not listening to this whole thing. It's like 10 minutes long.
Well, I was hoping that the Sephiroth thing would be like right in the first minute or so, but
it's the memorable part. It's never right.
Yeah, it's usually, it's got like 1 or 2 minutes before it even gets into that, which is true.
When you get metal guitars and an
it-
orchestra in a room together, long things happen.
They're usually awesome.
Oh, fantastic! And I could listen to them all day. Apocalyptica. But yeah, long.
Metallica S&M
Mm-hmm.
with the San Francisco
Symphony Orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
Nice thing about living in the Bay Area, you get one of the. If you're a metal band and you want to do something like that, you can get one of the best orchestras in the world to work with you.
I just really like Apocalyptica. Metallica done by cellos.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome.
And their original stuff's pretty fucking baller too.
I believe it.
Yeah.
All right, my number one. Well, from a book I forgot to bring for Nikki this week, to let her borrow, The Baron Harkonnen from Dune. Because evil.
Because evil. Because reasons, Dustin.
Evil reasons.
Evil reasons.
He's evil. He knows it. Doesn't give a shit.
He's evil and he knows it.
Yeah. Is completely obsessed with power and money. And he knows he's not a good person. He knows he makes people do bad things. He knows he has influenced his nephews to become horrible people. Doesn't care. Does it all because he wants power. Because he wants to make his family more powerful through his power. And then hopefully have it carry on after he's dead. He's just a bad man. He is a bad, very smart man. Who does lose in the end, but that's only because his grandson kills him. Or actually his granddaughter kills him.
So that book you were going to let me read? No, I'm just kidding. I still want to read it.
Well, there's a lot to get to that point.
Yeah.
So, but, he's a bad person.
Bad people, that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, see, but like, I'm looking at like a lot of my list, and it's like, Vader's redeemed, and didn't start out as a bad person. He got influenced into being bad by his boss, essentially. Khan was a bad person. Oogie Boogie kind of sits in a weird point because all of the people in Halloween Town are kind of weird and bad because they're scary, but they're not so bad.
Well, they're scared of him, so.
Yeah, but they're scared of him, but he's only acting in his nature of being from Halloween Town. Just taking it a little extreme, maybe. Handsome Jack's bad, and he just doesn't think he is. But at least, he's justifying it in his own mind. The Baron Harkonnen isn't even bothering to fucking justify anything. He's like, I'm evil, I know it, fuck y'all. So yeah.
I guess that's true. I mean, I'm looking at my list. Vader, redeemed, like you said. Magneto, he's fighting for his own cause.
He's fighting for his own cause. He's not 100% wrong, but he's extreme about his measures.
Sylar, I mean, kind of raised in a bad situation that kind of ended up just kind of flipping him on his evil head.
Yeah.
Joker's just psychotic.
Yeah.
And the Master was just kind of raised again in a bad situation that caused him to kind of go whoop-a-doo.
Yeah.
I had a couple honorable mentions too, but we'll get to those.
So
that's what I had left too, was an honorable mention.
Well, you have a number one.
Well, I had a number one, and then you stole Magneto, so I shuffled my list, and my honorable mention became my number one.
Oh.
So the Baron Harkonnen. And, on to Nikki.
any zombie in any movie ever. Not even any movie, anything ever. If it has a zombie in it,
Especially
I want to absorb it. And
especially in the 28 Days Later movies.
Yeah.
Shit runs after you like a
let me
speed
some Walking
demon.
Dead too, but I have only seen the first episode of the current season, and I'm waiting for it to be on the Netflix, and have managed to avoid 90% of spoilers. And then some douchebag posted a picture on the Book of Faces that was like a screen cap from Harry Potter that's like, nearly headless? How do you be nearly headless? And then a picture of Herschel getting his head chopped off. And I'm like, fuck you guys. That probably just happened and you're posting it. And spoilers.
Oh, I have some spoilers for you on Walking Dead.
Punching will happen.
There's people talking and running from zombies.
So anyways, I love zombie movies and zombie things.
I
And
agree.
they make me very happy
Me too.
in my nerdy places. So
Of course, I just like horror movies in general.
I like post-apocalyptic anything. Like, if the world's come to an end and there's a small band of survivors trying to struggle against trials, and
Did you like Book of Eli?
I really liked Book of Eli.
That movie actually surprised me.
Okay.
I was
It really did.
I was thoroughly surprised at how good that was.
I heard nothing but bad things about it, and it was finally like, I want to watch it. And I was like, I love this movie.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I
liked it a lot. Yeah, I think we're like 3 of 8 people that liked that movie.
Probably.
Yeah. But, I mean, you could... the world ended and these people are doing this thing, and
Gary Oldman was
there's
in that, too,
bad
wasn't he?
guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll watch it and probably like it. I mean, I've watched 75% of the shitty zombie movies on Netflix, some of which I might not have watched all the way through because they were so shitty, but
Zombie Strippers.
haven't seen that yet.
Oh, go watch Zombie Strippers!
Oh,
I just...
that one's horrible.
it doesn't sound like a
It
zombie
is
movie
the most
I would like.
entertaining piece of shit
Okay.
you'll ever watch.
Any zombie in any movie ever except Zombie Strippers.
It's got Jenna Jameson and fucking
Robert Englund.
Robert Englund in it.
And
Yeah.
the only reason I know this is I've heard them talk about it.
Yeah, I think I care less about that than you guys do.
Freddy Krueger? And a
That's-
porn star.
Yeah,
The porn star.
yeah.
Okay, my the porn star would be Sasha Grey, but that's because
Well, for current generation, but I mean like the woman who like probably has the most famous name in porn.
I know her name. And
Pool balls being squeezed out of vaginas at a high
you
velocity.
say this like it's a thing that's gonna make me want to watch it, but really being female,
Oh, come
all that
on.
description does is make me go,
But they're
Ow!
zombies. They don't know any better.
yeah, but if I said getting kicked in the nards repeatedly by zombies, I don't know.
That's not funny.
Exactly. See, it's funny to me because I don't have them, but it's not funny to you because you do, and it
Anybody out there who's seen
I
Zombie
don't
Strippers, I want to hear from you.
it just sounds horrible. And I like shitty B movies.
Oh, it's like C-rated.
I've
movie.
seen.
It's like not even.
I mean,
it's
I've
horrible.
watched Black
But it's
Ninja,
amazing.
and that was amazeballs. And I love shitty movies. We watched Troll 2 last week. I mean,
Jesus.
yeah.
That's like
Oh my
the
god, have you
worst-
seen it?
No,
I'd heard about it, never seen it.
It's got the
It's-
worst movie rating ever. I
There's a
think, is-
documentary
Yes.
about how
Yeah.
bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's worse than I thought it would be. Kind of in a good way sometimes. Apparently the whole thing was written because the gal's friends went vegetarian and she was mad at them.
Or movies like The Room.
Yeah, no, I love bad movies, but that just sounds really bad. But yeah, so I love zombies.
The Room.
Next.
Have you seen The Room?
No, I was talking about zombie strippers and then trying to move along because it's late and I'm tired.
You gotta see The Room.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, all right. So that's our list. You can agree to disagree or agree to disagree again.
Or you can agree to zombie strippers.
Or Zombie Strippers.
put you in a special category that Nikki and I will judge harshly.
Really harshly. like, why
I'm
would you
so-
take 2 things and ruin them?
How can you ruin stripper? I've never been a big.
I don't like. I've never been to a strip club in my life. Actually, it's
Lucky.
not a thing that sounds appealing to me.
Oh, strippers are fun.
Why would you want to look at things you can't touch? How is that fun?
Well, when
I don't
you're-
get porn either.
When you're young and have zero
Yeah, but I mean,
Zero things to spend your money on.
and also being in a room
They're usually good
full
people,
of
too.
dudes with boners doesn't sound fun either. Like that just does not sound like a good time to me.
Well, it depends on the club too, because if you go in the private
I
rooms,
don't care. I've had so many guy
they'll rub
friends
on
try
you,
and
they'll
convince
dance
me
on
that
you. It's fun.
no, it's not fun.
You just can't grab them.
Yeah, which is what makes it not fun. Like, why would you? Anyways, I don't understand watching other people do things that you
This
don't
is
get
a
to
crazy
participate in.
derail. It's like,
Oh God!
I'm just saying, watch zombie strippers. It's funny.
I'm going to say, don't watch zombie strippers if you want to maintain a level of respect and humanity.
If you want Mason and I to appreciate you at all, don't. And yeah, just don't.
Whatever. It's hilarious. My father-in-law is also big into zombie movies, so and I think he should.
Actually, I have to say, I have to admit, in general, I'm over zombies. We need a new scary monster.
I like them when they're done well,
It's
and
like-
then I like to laugh at them when they're not done well.
it's just
zombie strippers.
Jesus Christ!
I just
That's gonna be
this
the
may
title
not
of
be
this
a knife, but I'll
episode.
figure out how to cut you with it.
Okay, I'll shut up.
But like vampires,
Mason's got a butterfly bottle opener.
yes,
Yeah.
a ballad song bottle opener, baby, it's awesome. But like vampires went wrong because of
Sparkles.
because of Sparkles, and
Oh my God! Have you seen the trailers for what is it, Vampire Academy or something really shitty like that? Where they were like, basically, my sorry, I totally interrupted you, but you reminded me with Sparkles.
that's okay.
It looks like they were like Twilight was popular and Harry Potter did well. Let's do both.
Oh God,
It looks horrible.
It does look horrible.
Oh God!
It is Vampire
I
Academy.
almost threw up in my mouth a little.
I might have just actually.
Yeah, it's.
But like,
and there's like
because-
sexings and school and
but, like,
vampires
but
and
no,
werewolves.
But the thing is like now they have like Dracula on, I think it's Fox, but like it's being more real vampire like compared to the real myths, because like one of the things is Dracula could go outside in the book, so they're using that.
Without blinding people with his sparkles?
Yeah, he
Wow.
was just as powerful as a regular mortal during the day. You know, so he could walk around during the daylight and be like everyone else, and then at nighttime he, you know, became a evil creature of the night
Evil
that could
blood-sucking sex fiend.
sex fiend. Yeah. But you know, like that show gave me hope for that vampires will be fixed after the whole True Blood and Vampire Diaries and
Hey, True Blood was good.
I watched 3 episodes of True Blood and was like, "Welp, done."
Oh, it's fun.
you know, but I just had some
I
hope.
couldn't get
like,
into it.
because of the new Dracula. I have some hope for the genre. Also, like zombies to me were never inherently scary because they're mindless. They
That's
may
why I
be
like
predators,
them.
but they're mindless.
They're just an obstacle people have to overcome in those worlds, and I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas to me, a vampire is far scarier because they are as smart as or smarter than, because of their experience, most humans. So you know, it's the whole vampires are above us on the food chain is why they're scary. You know,
What was
but
that?
I mean, maybe it's time for werewolves, and I don't mean like for teeny boppers to fall in love with. I mean,
And
like,
you don't mean I have it written in my contracts that my shirt needs to be off in 90% of all my movies, werewolves?
right.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, like
Because
actual
that guy, every movie,
predator.
There was the-
no shirt.
There was the kind of remake Benicio del Toro werewolf movie that was kind of done like in the old 60s style. Werewolf Benicio del Toro was the lead in it. Came out 2 or 3 years ago.
I don't remember it. But like, you know, honest to goodness, like, you know, like scary, you know, werewolves and the person dealing with their transformation into a werewolf and stuff like that. And, you know, becoming a killer.
The last one
that can't control itself, or, you know, like, let's go on to another movie monster. You know, let's go on to another classic monster. Then zombies and vampires were done with those for a couple of years.
Katy Perry did a really cool witches dance in the Grammys tonight.
Okay. I didn't see that.
They had like brooms stuck in the stage and they were pole dancing on them. It was hilarious.
Kind of funny.
It was actually pretty cool.
Okay.
And then there was fire and this giant horse thing. It was weird. I don't even know.
Let's go to the Facebook page.
Alrighty.
We have some favorites from some peeps. We have my wife, who has a quick 5 here, didn't give any reasons, but I can assume at least 3 of them. I don't know if she has any. I'm just going to read them. So speaking of David Bowie, we got Jareth. That's one of hers. If you guys are familiar with the,
it's the Labyrinth, really. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
There's no excuse.
Dance,
it's just
magic dance.
Labyrinth. Go.
Yeah, codpiece, spiky afro, mullet.
Thing.
And
his hair was really
David
weird
Bowie.
in that movie,
Yeah.
but he was a Goblin King, so.
Joffrey Baratheon from the Game of Thrones. He's basically a 15-year-old prick.
Yeah, I've seen the memes.
Who literally has no soul. Like, he has no he has no...
My favorite one of those
gauge
is the gif of him just getting slapped over and over and over.
Yes. Like, he doesn't think he's doing wrong. He just thinks he's having fun. And, like, decapitation makes him giggle type of thing. It's
because he's a psychopath.
Yes.
Because of incest.
And speaking of Vampire Diaries, Damon Salvatore. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show at all.
All I know is that they had one of their episodes that had a song by Birthday Massacre in it. So one of my favorite bands got paid for having something in that crap, but at least they got paid more exposure.
It's weird that I've watched a few episodes because Jen watches it, and it is surprisingly super violent. Like, it just blows my mind how violent that movie is. But then it's like, rip this guy's head off and pull out his entrails, but then make sweet, sweet love to me. It's like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I don't understand. But anyway, Damon Salvatore, yeah, I could see why she would add that to the list. Smaug. Or Smog. If you're a normal person. And Magneto. I was not expecting a comic book character to show up on this list, but
yeah.
Well done. My mother-in-law, Connie Hazen. And this one I really don't get. Maybe you guys might know. Kevin Miller?
Nope.
No idea who that is.
The only Kevin Miller I can think of is, he's like an AM morning radio host.
I think she might have failed on the fact that these were supposed to be, characters, not real people.
She says I don't
because I left Hitler off my list. I'm just saying.
Well, he says, I don't really hate him because I don't hate anyone. He does make crazier than anyone else does, though, and for me...
Yeah, it's the AM radio host. I know who you're talking about now. I'm thinking about it.
How is that?
He's not fantasy, though, so anyway, going on.
Maybe he is.
Going on.
Alright, next up is an email from the Copel, the Brian Copel, our special guest host we had a couple episodes back.
Yes.
He says, first off, I enjoyed your pilot episode for role-playing. I do believe that as the group as a whole gets more into the craft of gaming, it'll become smoother overall. I also believe that the Pathfinder will be much better system to continue the campaign. Now on
I
to...
agree.
Yeah, and well underway on that, by the way.
Oh, very good. Now on to my list of top 5 antagonists. Number 5, Gollum. He seems to have antagonism thrust upon him. He could have stayed in his cave, catching fishes, using his precious. Then bumbles along Bilbo, who finds his precious and takes it away, forcing Gollum into the world. He never wanted to foil any plans, just get his ring back. Number 4, Moriarty. The perfect anti-Sherlock. I especially like the BBC representation of him in Moffat's version. Number 3, all Disney villains. For the overuse of the word fools and making it sound good. Number 2, Darth Vader. He was already discussed quite extensively in the last show, and I'm sure that he has made it onto someone else's list during this show. Quite a few times.
Yes.
Overall, though, he was an all-around good bad guy. And lastly, my number 1 antagonist, and then we're all gonna giggle here, throughout fiction, Stephen Moffat.
Yeah.
Brian wins.
For taking away so many of our friends and heroes and making
He has
every
killed
little thing
more
terrifying.
people than all of the other villains combined, probably.
Now, seeing as I only got to finishing the last episode, I haven't had the time to research the word antagonist yet, so you'll have to give me more time. Keep up the good work. I look forward to more. Your bud, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Yay.
Hi, Brian. Your number one just wins the internet. That was pretty awesome.
Yes.
So anyway, that's everybody's top fives, and as well as some special guests, top fives. Any quick honorable mentions from anybody?
Nope.
I had Shredder and Jason Voorhees.
Okay.
And Jason's he's like the ultimate zombie pretty much. He's indestructible and wields a machete and a hockey mask. And then
Wayland Yutani Corp.
Wayland Yutani Corp?
Yes.
Why do I know that?
Are you speaking gibberish because you're tired?
No. Wayland
Okay.
Yutani Corporation.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what that's from.
Alien. They're the corporation.
Yes. That's right.
Dope.
And he's the one that the Cyborg is modeled after, no? Isn't he modeled after the Wayland?
He's
owner?
owned by them. He was created by them. I don't remember if he's modeled after him or not.
I feel like he was modeled after him.
Anyway, yeah, because they're a bunch of bastards who want to try to use aliens for their own purposes, and that works out well.
Yeah, you can't really use a xenomorph. They will just eat you.
Xenomorphs use you as an incubator.
Yeah. You just had a face full of alien wing wong.
Gross. You got skull-boned by an alien. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Was it
love
good
that.
for you? Bleh! Yeah, anyway.
So,
Little face hugger smoking a cigarette. You ever seen that one?
No.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, right at the end of the Vici Cats cartoon.
yeah.
It's awesome. It was so awesome that Dragon actually printed it so he could hang it up.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, as we're facing midnight, folks. We're gonna wrap
Jesus.
this shit up.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us on episode 24. Again, you can find us on Facebook /Nerdeffect, Twitter NerdeffectPod, that thing called Google Plus, which apparently my YouTube videos just auto post to now, which is nice.
Oh, yeah.
So there is stuff on the wall. It's just all the same shit that you're probably hearing now.
Right. It's just all the stuff that's on the YouTube
We're just giving you
channel.
more
Yeah.
sources to get it. there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Google
It's
Plus, search Nerd Effect. It's out there.
Stitcher,
YouTube,
YouTube.
Stitcher, Mixcloud.
Yes.
Your mom. Ah!
That's what she
If
said.
she listens to the show, you might find her there.
I meant
Yeah.
the listener's mom.
Oh.
Their mom was...
I got it.
I don't...
Get your mom listening.
I do not want my mom listening to this. She would not appreciate our
Yeah,
humor.
say my mother would not appreciate this.
Yeah,
She'd
no.
be unhappy with it.
Yay, monkey tits.
Thanks,
Jesus,
Mike. Just in
Mike.
case.
Yeah, if you know anybody with monkey tits, get them listening. They might appreciate Mike.
If you do want to get your mother to listen to the podcast, maybe warn her about Mike first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's always a good idea to warn
Oh,
people
I'm
about
still
Mike.
waiting for my grandma to go, monkey tits? What
Oh.
are you talking about?
Oh,
Nothing, Grandma.
Fortunately, she hasn't figured out how to use that part of the internet yet.
Anyway, we
Send your emails,
have
Nerdeffect.
ways for you to
feedback
contact
at
us.
nerdeffect.com.
Feedback at nerdeffect.com. You can reach us all individually. You can reach me at Dustin at nerdeffect.com.
Mike at nerdeffect.com.
Mason at nerdeffect.com.
Nikki at nerdeffect.com. Yay!
Yeah, and at KKI.
Well, yeah, that's like the way that normal people spell it.
Oh,
It's true.
And I think that's it. You can always visit our webpage. Share us.
Nerdeffect.com. Hey, maybe use those message boards a
Forums.
little bit, people.
Go to forums.
Hey,
Forums is
I
fun.
tried. Someone else needs to step it up and start working on it.
I've never been a forumsy person, or I would hop on there.
Time to change that.
Yeah,
Time
yeah.
to change, Nikki.
Forums are fun. We have a lot of fun discussions. There's a big anime post that went for a while.
Yes.
You can go in there. You can observe Mason's obnoxiously huge signature.
There is no picture large enough to.
Anyways, you can see it on the forums.
There's a bunch of cute Asian chicks on it, so you can't really argue with it. But I mean, it's gigantic.
There is no picture big enough to fully show the glory that is Girls' Generation.
Nikki's falling asleep.
Nikki needs to go home.
Okay,
Or you could just sleep here and be
No.
ready for work in the morning.
I have to work out with a trainer. at 7:30. That's why I'm like, come on, guys. Come on.
All right, Nikki, say the words.
For those about to nerd,
We
salute
you.
That was terrible.
That was awful. I'm
That was
sorry.
completely horrible, but
Anyway,
that's how we're ending this. Night, everybody.
I broke podcast forever.